All right. We're live. See people show up. They don't. We'll leave. It's fine. Mm-hmm. 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 Bottom. Mm-hmm. We'll see what's going on. Itchy chin. Mmm. Bum, 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 bum. Mm. Oh, we got somebody.
There we go.
Oh, we got Gregory.
I showed up a minute ago, but my stupid VPN decided to hit the kill switch on me and took out my internet.
Oh, well, fuck.
I try to be here on time because I respect your time. So I don't want to be late for any kind of event.
Oh, yeah. Big event happening.
As Nick will attest, I'm always here on time.
Of course, yeah. So how you doing tonight, Greg?
I'm doing all right. I'm finishing the rest of this cider that's not making me feel very good, so I'm gonna have to wash it down with something better because it's I don't have the can in front of me, but it's a maple barrel whiskey barrel aged cider. Hold on, let me actually read it so I'm not making shit up. Just something I grabbed at Bench Brewing today just out of curiosity. So it's from Niagara Cider Company, which I'm not sure if that's just a different name for Bench Brewery or their cidery part. Maple whiskey oak aged cider. And as my wife who tried it and did not like it says, it smells like pancakes, but when you taste it, it's a weird combination of a dry cider with maple syrup. It's an odd thing, and after sipping this for about 45 minutes, I still not done it. I'm not feeling too good, so not recommended. Not recommended on this. It's also a really weird combination. It's like the two things don't seem to go together.
Yeah, I wouldn't think to put cider with anything maple. But
I feel if it was like a sweet cider, it might work a little better. But this is a fairly dry cider.
Yeah, I don't know. Maple seems to work better if, like, I mean, not that I would do it, but it seems to work better with whiskey and stuff like that.
You'd think so. Well, I think this is actually, don't claim this is barrel aged. Okay, well, it's oak aged, but they don't actually say what it's oak aged in. Maple whiskey, oak aged cider. So, I mean, they kind of imply that they use maple whiskey barrels to age it. Clearly wet barrels based on how much maple whiskey flavor there is. So
yeah, I'm drinking something that's barrel aged as well. From from Tatamagouche. This is their Cryol barrel aged Maibach.
Ooh,
That's 7.4%. And the weird thing about it is it's got so they got actual barrels. I don't recall if they say where from, but they have barrels. But the barrels had Brettanomyces seeds added to it, so you get that like
sour.
Yeah, well, it's not a sour really. They're not calling it a sour either. They're just saying it's barrel aged with Brett, like kind of a Brett accent to it, and it does taste like a wild ale, kind of like something along those lines. But I wouldn't say sour. It's more like Orval.
Huh.
So it's got like that. It's got that quote unquote horse blanket kind of thing going for it. That sort of funky cheese. Musty.
Good old horse blankets.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm going to get something else. I did, out of necessity, drink this as soon as I got home today because it broke on the way home. This was a Ripple Effect pale ale from Bench Brewing, and Highway was a little went from 100 to 0 very quickly, and the beer behind me was not very well packed, and it fell behind me, and then I'm feeling behind my seat. I'm like, oh shit, one of them's leaking, so I had to pull off the Highway. I was like, okay, do I just chug this now? Luckily, the top was most of the top had already leaked out, so like 3/4 of it was still fine as long as the can was propped up and left that way. So as soon as I got home, I just chugged it. I'm like, fuck this goddamn.
Yeah, that sucks.
Oh well, there's other beer where that came from, but it was just like, all right, I've never broken a beer in the car on the way home. A can, mind you, not even a fucking bottle. Anyway, let's see what's in the fridge today, guys. And Dan loves Bench Brewing, so he'll probably be on here praising them very shortly.
I don't know if he'll show up for anything like this. I don't even know if he knows we're doing this.
I don't even know if he's still alive.
Yeah.
I don't even know if his wife will allow him to continue to be alive.
Well, she showed him mercy for now. So.
Well, these are the only. None of the beers I have are particularly exciting. I don't have a lot in my fridge. This one's kind of exciting. I feel I'm either going to really like this or really hate this. So it's from Solar Flare, which I'm trying to figure out. Oh, no, it's called Solar Flare. It's from Carbon Brewing Co. I don't actually know who they are, so I'm going to have to look them up. It was sold by Bench. I was actually surprised that it's not. Doesn't appear to be their product. But anyways, I like the can. It's called Solar Flare Pineapple Mango Sour, 7.1%. So I kind of don't think I'm going to like this, but you know what? It might surprise me. We'll see.
Yeah, I like the can art, but it
very cool.
Doesn't sound appealing to me.
Yeah, no, I'll have to try to figure out because I feel like Bench, like they're a very big brewery and they have a lot of money behind them, and I think they come out from Alberta or something. That's why Dan has Dan issues with them. So they have like a bunch of different brands. Like they have a winery as well. I think they do a cidery. So I think the Niagara Cidery might be their one as well. I haven't actually checked that. But I mean, their gift shop sells like all sorts of shit. Like, they can buy big ass bottles of wine and all that. And so why not?
Yes. Hey. Sounds very much in Dan's Danhausen, if you will.
Danhausen.
Yeah.
Very good, very evil. Carbon Brewing Co. So, Carbon Brewing Company. Apparently, they say I don't think this is actually their location, but this is what happens. I don't think that's actually their location.
No, that's a big brewery.
Yeah, let's see if we can get any actual information on them. Carbon Brewing Co. So hold on, they look like, maybe they're. I don't know if they're actually owned by Bench. They don't actually seem to have their own website. Wow. So I do wonder if. Hold on, let's see what AI knows. Is Carbon Brewing Co. owned by Bench Brewing? All right, AI, this is for all the marbles. Yes, Carbon Brewing Co. is owned by Bench Brewing Company, which acquired the Toronto-based eco-friendly brewery in mid-2025. Okay. So it's a big brewery buying a little brewery. It's crazy. Maybe I have tried something from them before. I don't know, but I can't recall. So anyway.
So their products might be under a subheading on another website. If that brewery or whatever actually has a website, and they're not just like an Instagram presence where you can't really learn shit about them.
They do not appear to have a proper website. So I mean, I have the feeling they're a very small upstart brewery that they probably figured, hey, we can make a quick few bucks if we sell. Okay, well, so to be fair, They have 3 products in the LCBO: Carbon Brewing Helios Hell's Lager, Carbon Brewing, well, this beer, and Carbon Brewing Jedi Hazy IPA. So, okay. They got stuff, so they have some presence. Anyway, let's give this a try. Gonna use the same glass as my cider because I'm a fucking classy individual like that. So I guess for anyone tuning in, do we actually have any audience members?
No, there's a couple people like filtered in and immediately popped out, so it's like a
wow, terrible. All right, let's give this a try. It smells pretty good. Kind of has definitely has that mango smell to it. Doesn't smell like a sour at all. Well, it tastes like a sour.
yeah.
That's actually pretty good though. It's a nice balanced sour because sour's there, but you get a lot of the pineapple, and the mango actually is kind of more in the scent, I think, than the taste. It's there, but it's less there. It's not bad. I actually like this. I would probably put it as more of a tart than a true sour, but it's more sour than what's the beer we did, the Collective Arts one we did last week. It's more sour than that. That was just pure tart. This is like, I like to call it a balanced sour. So
Okay.
it's not bad. It's definitely better than the cider I just had. So it's not a high bar, but we don't have Nick Lowe for our low bar. So
Yeah. Too busy getting all that middle-aged and senior bike club pussy or whatever he's doing.
yeah, and then he's gonna get some Wincest pussy. He's gonna test out the bride.
That's right. That's true. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I keep forgetting what he's doing. Oh yeah, he's going to a wedding. It's not a bike club thing, is it?
he's going to a wedding. I don't know how far away it's located. It's kind of well, I mean, he'll probably somehow make it weird and bike related. We know how our good friend Nicholas works.
Yeah, you know, he's like you. He's like you with sex clubs. It's just he knows where all the bike clubs are. That's
This is true. This is true. I don't go to sex club very often anymore. It's just like there are too many.
Too many people just trying to play soggy biscuit.
Yeah, too many people in general, and too many dudes now that try to do the door date thing. And we'll say many of them are. We'll put it delicately and say there's an awful lot of the new Canadian persuasion that like to be there with either women they've either clearly paid to be there with them, or wives that just look so unhappy and so incredibly uncomfortable being there, but they're very clearly being forced to be there. Mm-hmm. It's just like, this is getting to be a little bit on the weird side. It's like,
yeah.
We went to one with they call it a pool, but it's essentially a giant hot tub back in April or something. That was kind of fun. We weren't allowed to do anything in the pool, and it had tons of bromine in it, so your skin itched afterwards. But it was like it was a fun time either way.
Well, I mean, it's better than other areas itching afterwards when you step out of the pool.
Yeah, no, well, they know despite you're not allowed, they know it's pretty difficult to keep tabs on what people are doing under the water. So it's like, yeah, we're gonna put so many chemicals in here that it's gonna kill everything, including you probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's kind of a nice pool. We're like, I wouldn't pay, it's like $70 to get in, so I wouldn't pay that during the summer. But I mean, during the winter, I'm like, I'd probably come back here. It's like I don't have access to a pool during the winter. It's not bad.
Yeah. Oh. I should have done a carry and saved like half that pizza.
Oh, you downed the whole pizza?
Yeah, it's not like it was a big pizza. It was just like it was a medium or whatever. But
I feel it's always kind of a badge of honor that you don't leave a pizza behind. It's like, no, I gotta take this whole thing down.
Yeah. Just trying to fight the food coma now.
Yeah. I was debating on doing pizza for dinner, but of course I went to go visit my mom today, so she had cleans out her fridge. Here, take everything I don't want. I'm like, okay. I have no idea, but somehow I ended up with like 2 pounds of cold cuts. Why? I don't know.
Fucking old people, man. They have like get-togethers and stuff. Especially old women.
That's what I'm kind of figuring. Is like there was something she had where people got together. They had cold cuts. After she was done, I could tell they were frozen. So she probably threw everything in the freezer, and then she literally just gives it to me. She's like, "Here, Greg will eat it." She's right. I will. But
the way these things work, man. My mom goes to tons of these things. Everyone brings too much shit. No one eats hardly half of it, and then everyone's kind of feels guilty into like taking it back with them, so that the people who brought it don't have to bring it back. So like it's kind of like a little guilt trip kind of thing, where everyone ends up going there with something and then taking something home that they didn't bring, and so my mom will come home with like a ton of like badly made sandwiches that no one wanted to eat, like a bunch of like egg sandwiches, like lazy ass egg sandwiches or something that no one wanted to fucking eat, or she'll come home with a bunch of like cold cuts or stuff like that, and exactly the same thing. Or here's the worst. Fucking, I don't know why my mother does this, but some of her friends are like connected to the food bank and stuff like that. And sometimes she'll bring home stuff that's like close to out of date or like a slightly out of date. And it's like, nobody's going to eat that.
So the stuff that people at the food bank don't want, she brings home.
I guess. I don't know what the fucking story is, man. She's got some weird friends that just do weird things. And it's just like, fuck, man.
I mean, I'm all for not wasting food when possible. Sometimes you got to not be like ridiculous about it.
Yeah. There's Paul. Hey, Paul. If you go in the BA101 chat, the link's there if you want to join in.
There you go. You can join in and tell us all about your nature adventures of probably doing a lot of outdoor sex.
Yeah. in covered bridges and caves. Maybe they fist their butts with it. I mean, maybe they do. Maybe they do. Maybe my mother and her friends do.
But is it really fisting at that point though? Is that like, like I understand you can insert it. Well, you can insert whatever you want or whatever you're brave enough to insert, but it's not really fisting, is it?
Well,
So usually when we have get-togethers, sometimes people bring food or they bring a dessert or something, but usually people will just bring alcohol, and a lot of them are women that just have very questionable taste in alcohol. So it'll be like all sorts of coolers and shit like that. So after a party, and everyone leaves their stuff. So after a party, I'm like going through. I'm like, all right, I got twisted tea. I got fucking this weird Mai Tai mix or something, and then fucking what did I have last time? Ginger, Canadian Club and ginger, which wouldn't really recommend. It's not that good. Bunch of other stuff. So I feel it's like I always get to try all these new types of alcohol that I'm just like, I would never buy this, but it's in my fridge. Why not? I'll drink it. Most of it's not very good. Twisted tea, I will say, if you like iced tea, is pretty fucking good. If you don't like iced tea, it won't do anything because it's literally just iced tea with like vodka in it.
I miss when my mother had a friend who made wine. Her winemaking friends must either stop doing it or they all died. One or the other. I don't know which. But we used to have like a wine cellar, very basically. It was fun. The wine wasn't spectacular. It was all like easy wine kit, like make a strawberry wine bullshit or whatever. But bottle did get you buzzing.
Yeah. I'm all for anyone back in the days when we had our good friend Ashley Sexton. I used to like it when he would send me a couple beers, or I don't think he ever sent me, but sometimes he'd give me a bottle here and there. Yeah. When I was up in the Niagara area, I was like, oh, cool, free beer. I will take it, good sir.
But then he decided to be a responsible dad.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Sexton's got some. And going I think we're gonna find out he's like a serial killer or something. Like he's.
Oh, I fully expected that already.
I don't think he's that good of a dad. Like I think he just scrapes by, but it's like seems you have a lot of time on your hands, Mister. I don't think Princess Auto keeps you that busy. So I'm kind of thinking, yeah.
Like it's like a more easygoing BTK killer, like.
Yeah.
Middle-aged guy with thinning hair and a mustache or whatever, just living the family life. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Hopefully he's BTK was kind of a dick though. So I mean, other than the whole murder thing, he was kind of a dick just as a general person. So hopefully Ashley's a little bit more even tempered than he is.
yeah, BTK seemed really grumpy, like a real grumpy.
Yeah, he was.
One of those
Well, he
grumpy
was a dog
Christian.
catcher. He was a dog catcher who apparently like enjoyed putting down dogs and stuff like that. So the guy was a psychopath, clearly.
The warning
And
sign
that's
was
before
already
you
there.
even get. That's before you even get to the murders. He's not like one of those
Yeah.
nice serial killers. No.
But I guess they showed him in that Mindhunter show or whatever the fuck it was called.
Yeah, that was a good show. It's too bad they never finished it. I've heard supposedly they're talking about making like a movie or something to conclude it or some shit. That'd be kind of cool. Because that's actually really interesting, and it's kind of loosely based on a true story.
Yeah, I mean, they take dramatic license, but the guy who plays the guys that got to play the serial killers were all really good. That was kind of the best thing about it.
Same guy from the Tarantino movie, I think, played Charles Manson.
Yep.
That's cool. It's like in the same universe as Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
And the guy who played Ed Kemper was like dead on Ed Kemper, except for way fatter. But other than that, like they got the mannerisms right down. And then the guy they got to play the son of Sam was like crazy accurate. So
yeah, he was pretty good. And I was blown away when I found out that the bigger cop is actually the thing of Creepshow 2, where he plays the Indian, where very clearly not an Indian.
Yeah. Your connection's breaking up.
Okay, hold on. I'm having some. Yeah, hold on. Let me make sure I've got everything closed. I know BitTorrent popped up, and that usually fucks up my connection, but that should be gone now. Why? Okay. Do the IT guy thing of restart my
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
computer, but I think just a little bit on the doesn't deal with multitasking quite as well. Okay, we'll see if that fixes it. If not, we'll have to IT guy it and unplug it, plug it back in. Yeah, no, Mindhunter, I would like to finish that series. That series really, really good.
Yeah.
But it's one of those, like, I mean, somebody asked should I recommend it? It's like, or would I recommend? I'm like, no, they didn't finish it, so you get blue balls.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like a kind of a bit of a cliffhanger.
It's like somebody who's never seen Game of Thrones. It's like, would you recommend it? I'm like, I don't know. Like the first 5 seasons are probably some of the best TV ever, and then it shits the bed. So I don't know if I'd recommend it to somebody, because it's like I know you're in for a bunch of disappointment.
Yeah. Oh, did you? I imagine you finished Widow's Cove.
I did.
Yeah.
What
did you think of that?
I enjoyed it. I liked it more for the monster of the week aspect. I thought that was kind of cool. Definitely, I like the whole thing with that killer, and I think it was like episode 7 or something, with that killer that just comes after the girl for no reason.
Yeah.
And then she's holding a shotgun to him until he's cremated.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous, but funny. The overall story of it, though, I felt the ending was left a bit to be desired. I'm never a big fan of a show that has to guarantee a season 2 to kind of clean up stuff. Like, I kind of wish they would have cleaned up the end of it a little bit more. But overall, very good series. I just didn't feel quite stuck the landing for me, but still a very cool series. And it was basically kind of John Carpenter's The Fog, the series. So it's kind of like, all right, I dig this atmosphere. Plus the little Twin Peaks vibe or whatever.
Little fog, little Twin Peaks, little. I was getting a lot of what was that Mike Flanagan series about the island?
Fucking Midnight Mass.
Midnight Mass, I was getting a little bit of that vibe to it as well.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. I got to rewatch that series. That was pretty good.
The Nosferatu or whatever, you know.
Yeah, which kind of like they could actually make a sequel to that because technically the Nosferatu probably died, but you don't know it died.
Yeah.
So it may have survived. So that was kind of neat. I mean, I like things with I like things where they try to work vampires in some realistic fashion. I always think that's kind of a little bit cool. But
yeah,
well, that's not
good.
News. I won't say it online, but it's somebody we know got some potentially bad news from some extended family, so that's not good. So, anyways, I wish them the best, or as best as it can be. Anyways,
yeah, it just sucks. I know what that's like when you gotta sit there and like support your parents when they're going through health problems or their siblings are going through health problems and they're sitting there stressing over the news and shit.
Yeah, so far that hasn't happened in my family. I mean, both my parents are the eldest. I mean, obviously my dad is dead. He had a little brother. I mean, still has a little brother. He's my uncle. I don't talk to him very often, but he's in relatively good health. But he's also getting up. He's also close to 82. So I mean, he's getting up there as well. And my mom's the oldest in her family. She's 76. But there's like a pretty big gap. Like her two younger siblings are like, I think her youngest one just turned 60. So there's a pretty big age gap there.
Yeah.
So it's it's kind of Polish people like have a kid every 5 years like that. So it's a pretty big age gap. So I mean, chances are, unless somebody gets some terrible disease or something, that my mom will probably be the first one to go. I mean, maybe her younger brother, because he's only like 2 years younger than her, and he's like, obviously men on average don't live as long as women, so he could go first. But so far, everyone is healthy. We will. Other than my dad, who's not unhealthy either, but he wouldn't really
sort of
He's sort of in that limbo between, hey, he's in great health, but also not. So, but it is unfortunate when you have to go through stuff like that or all that shit. Especially if it's like a big family or whatever. Like, fuck, I think my grandmother, so my dad's mother, I think her youngest sister, and again, this was like they had like 12 siblings or something. These are like old school like farm people. I think her youngest sister only died like in the last few years. Like it's like in the last 5 or 6 years, something like that. Like she lived a long time. And I mean, my grandmother died at this point. It's been about 25 years and she died at age 88. So,
yeah.
So, I mean, it's a pretty big age gap in terms, the old school things. So,
yeah. Yeah, I wonder if Nicholas is planning on joining. He is in the chat.
Yeah, I don't know if Nick is joining us or not. He probably thinks it starts at 8:30.
An idiot. A fucking idiot. If he was here, I'd tell him what a fucking idiot he is.
Wow.
Fucking idiot.
Almost like he'll suddenly show up and you'll call him a fucking idiot.
Fucking Nick. Gene burning buffoon.
Wow. That's a mean thing to say about Nick. I certainly hope he doesn't come on the chat and give you a taste of his give you a piece of his mind.
Too much of an idiot to do it.
Wow.
Now this would only work as a joke if I had him in the backstage waiting to bring him in. But
I know that's kind of what I expected. No, you're just literally at this point slinging insults at him.
Mm.
Oh my goodness!
That's what he gets for being selfish and going to a wedding. Canceling BA101 for all the viewers.
Yeah, all the viewers, they're just like, no, my Wednesday night ruined.
Yeah. The three people we haven't scared away. That
the rate of suicides on Thursdays is going to go up tomorrow.
Damn.
So speaking of woke things, how was Supergirl? Was it any good?
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, I think the biggest thing is like it's one of those movies that really didn't need to be made. Like that, it probably would have been handled better as a TV series, like a 6-episode TV series or something. And they could have made it probably for a lot cheaper, so they wouldn't have taken such a big loss on profit with it. But I like the girl there who plays Supergirl. I liked all the cast in it. You know, also just kind of weird that they shoehorned Lobo into that. It felt really out of place. Like he was good as Lobo and everything, because I think that was kind of what Jason Momoa was destined to play, and that's kind of what he wanted to always play.
So he played Aquaman in the old universe, and now he's Lobo in the new universe.
Yeah.
Huh. I also don't know who Lobo is, but
yeah, Lobo's like a he's kind of DC's Wolverine in a way, in that he's got sort of the same level of popularity, and he's also basically unkillable. But yeah, no, it was fine. It's just, I mean, you know, James Gunn can do that superheroes in outer space having adventures shit, because, you know, he did the 3 Guardians of the Galaxy films. So this is basically just DC's Guardians of the Galaxy in a lot of ways. Very much the same kind of film, although way darker. Like there's some pretty dark shit, like kids get killed in it and stuff like that. And it's like, what? It was kind of tonally quite off, but especially considering how I mean, there was some serious stuff in the Superman movie, but it was, in general, it was much more easygoing and funny. And I felt like there was maybe a bit too many dark moments in this one for it tonally. Where if they had done it in the series, they could have stretched things out a little bit more and it maybe earned some of those moments. But like some of this stuff kind of comes out of nowhere. It almost feels like. So it was. And I mean, it's not even long for a superhero movie. It's only an hour 48 minutes or something like that. So,
like, I mean, I liked Superman, but like the new Superman, I'll say, I mean, I haven't seen Supergirl. I did not like her much in Superman. I also don't particularly like Superman in Superman. I don't really like the cast they pick. I realize they didn't want to, pick the, chiseled, fucking who's the last guy in the Snyderverse or whatever.
Oh yeah, I always blank on his name.
Everyone knows his fucking name except when you're trying to think of it. But anyways, that guy, Henry Cavill. Yeah, I mean, to me, he kind of had that Superman look. I realized they're going for something a little bit different. Same with Supergirl; they're going for something a little bit different. I don't know. Wasn't the biggest fan in Superman. I will reserve judgment until I see Supergirl. I'll watch it when I can pick up a possibly less than legal copy. I assume you're still on a theater rep at this point.
No, the digital's out there now.
Oh, is it? Okay, I'll download it and I'll watch it in the next few days then. But yeah, I mean, I was lukewarm on Superman anyway. I thought it was fine. I don't think I've ever watched any Superman movie that I fucking loved. I don't love Superman as a character that much. He's not that interesting compared to Batman. Like, you can give me a bad Batman movie and I'll still probably prefer it to a Superman movie. I thought Man of Steel was fine. I know everyone hates that movie, but I thought it was perfectly fine. I was like, okay, it is what it is. So yeah, he snapped Zod's neck at the end. That's what he should have done. Like, you know how much damage fucking Zod did to the world fighting Superman? And I mean, literally they made a whole movie about it where Batman tried to get revenge on him for all the shit he did. So it's like, no, just snap the dude's neck. You don't need to keep him alive. Like, this is bad.
Yeah, most people. The thing is most people, that the problem with that was that's not really traditionally what Superman is as a character. So
yeah, I'm coming from the perspective where I know almost nothing about comics. Pretty much my superhero knowledge comes from the movies. So it's like, no, this Batman and Superman should be snapping people's necks. Like, there's no need to keep these people alive. They're bad people.
Yeah, I'm honestly good at the idea of, like, Batman, he's the world's greatest martial artist or whatever. He should know a way to like break the Joker's neck that the Joker will never walk again. Problem solved.
Well, there you go. I mean,
don't kill him, just incapacitate him for the rest of his life.
I mean, if you ever played the Arkham Asylum series of games, that is, I mean, he basically does that to every time he gets into a fight. It's like, okay, well, technically they're alive, but this person will probably not walk again ever. Like he's
it's like Terminator 2ing their kneecaps and shit.
Yeah, or they're fucking breaking their necks and all that. But yeah, it's I don't know. Like, listen, I like James Gunn. I just find I find so far that his adaptation of Guardians of the Galaxy works better just because Guardians, I think, is so fucking wacky and out there, just to begin with. And I think Superman's usually a little more grounded. So to me, it was a little bit odd. I didn't hate the last Superman movie. It was fine, but I also didn't think it was like the next coming of Jesus or anything. So
yeah.
Or if you don't believe in Jesus, the first coming of Jesus.
Yeah. No, my takeaway from the Supergirl movie was it's fine, but they probably could have done a limited run miniseries or whatever instead of a movie. It feels like it was like the wrong move. They should have just done like a Lobo movie instead or something, which I'm sure they're doing, but you know.
Well, nowadays with streaming and stuff like that, I mean, it's the same thing I felt about Mandalorian, the movie. I'm just like, it was fine. I didn't hate it, but I'm just like, this felt to me like it could have just been 3 episodes of season 4 or whatever season there. Yeah, season 4 at this point. It's like, to me, it didn't need to be a movie. Like,
yeah, it's almost like they're trying to prove that the movie format's dying by like making intentional bombs that they can write off on taxes or whatever.
Well, and I mean, you got, I was hearing people talk about the new Nolan movie, and apparently it's very good. Well, some people don't like it, but apparently, generally speaking, it's very good, or most people seem to agree it's very good. But apparently, if you don't see it in IMAX, it's like you apparently don't get the full experience because they cut off quite a bit. And apparently people are saying like this is one of those movies where it actually does matter. You lose actually a lot if you don't see it in IMAX. But the thing is, IMAX is closer to like a 4:3 ratio. I don't know what the actual ratio is, but it's closer to pan and scan 4:3. So it's like, so I either have to pick widescreen, which I like, or I have to get the full experience. But it's like I'm watching it on 90s television. Like, fuck that shit.
I do like that he although there's like, I guess there's CGI enhancements and stuff here and there. The actors played against a life-size Cyclops puppet, and they did a lot of like just shooting in real places and stuff. So they actually had to do like the old labored, like every time they have to set up a shot with like 1,000 people running across the beach. It is 1,000 people, and not only that, if they have to do a retake, they got to go and sweep the beach and take all the footprints off it before they start the new shot, and that kind of thing.
I mean, technically speaking, I've never had a Christopher Nolan movie that I didn't think was a good movie, at the very least, a competent, good movie. But most of his stuff, I don't actually like his movies all that much. Like, I mean, really, I like the first 2 Dark Knight movies quite a bit. And then after that, I didn't like the third one. Oppenheimer was fine. Interstellar was fine. The one where they kept going to dreams was fine. But I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I mean, it's all these movies I'll watch once. I'm like, great. I'm never going to watch it again. But it was fine the ones I watched.
You seen The Prestige?
I have not, no.
That's my favorite of his.
That's one of his early ones too, isn't it?
Yeah. It's got Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale in it.
I have not seen that. I haven't seen his last one, the Tenor or Tenant or whatever.
Yeah, I've never seen that one. It didn't sound interesting to me. It just sounded like, okay. It's like time travel.
That was the one I think that he was just using as a thing. I think that was on the tail end of COVID, and he's saying, no, fuck, you're not getting on streaming. You have to see it in the theater.
Yeah.
No. And my claim to fame is the last movie I've ever saw in the theater, and probably last one I ever will see in the theater is Halloween Kills. So That's a great way to cap off my theater going experience.
There you go. That's the cinema right there.
I was gonna go see Halloween Ends, but then I saw some early reviews of people saying, "Yeah, it's not what you expect it to be." I was like, "Ugh." So I downloaded and the Peacock version came out. So okay, I'm gonna download this, and if I really like it, maybe we'll go to the theater. And I didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
I would have been so pissed off because when Agus and I go, we'll get VIP seating and stuff like that. So it's like $60 for the two of us to go. So it's like that's kind of ridiculous, really, to go see a movie.
Yeah, the theaters are pricing themselves out of business.
And I know, like, more in the States than in Canada, there's like, Alamo Draft House and stuff like that try to make it more of an experience. But the way I look at it, I'm like, I don't want to eat or drink while I'm eating a movie because I'm like, are you going to pause the fucking movie when I have to go piss? Like, so I'm like, I don't really want to have a drink or whatever. And plus, food, if it's dark, I might get shit all over me. So I'm like, no, I don't want to. I want to just watch the damn movie and not do all this extra. So, I appreciate people who do want to do that, but same time, it's like they do that in the VIP seating. They do like not tableside, but like, seat side service and stuff like that. But that's annoying. For the first 15 minutes of the movie, you're fucking dudes are getting their burgers and then digging in as you're trying to watch the movie. It's like, this is not enjoyable to me versus I can just watch it at home and then, I got to pee, pause. I want to go get a snack. Okay. Well, I can eat it, or I can eat it in the comfort of my own living room and not get it all over myself. And again, go pee when I have to.
Yeah, I definitely don't need that distraction. I don't need people like the guy in front of me getting served his burgers or whatever while I'm trying to watch the fucking movie. That would suck.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to just, hey, you get your popcorn and shit before the fucking movie starts outside at the concession, and then once the movie starts, you stay in and you watch the fucking movie like an adult.
Yeah, it's kind of my whole thing. If you're gonna get something, grab a popcorn and then you can enjoy that. The nice thing about popcorn is, especially the big ass movie theater ones, like, all right, this should last 2 hours, unless I'm just shoving it in my mouth. So
yeah, and they don't have people like going around checking on people, telling them to turn off their fucking phones anymore because they're so scared that people won't come to the theater. Apparently.
Yeah, so it's like, okay. It's like, no, I don't want to deal with people. It's like, okay. And it's like, gotta be some teenager, and it's like, okay, well, if I fucking punch him in the face, then I get charged with assaulting a minor. So it's like, well, there's just no winning here.
The sweet spot is if you know your local places really well, the down hours, so you can guarantee like go to a movie on a certain night where there's maybe going to be 2 other people at the most in the entire fucking thing, and just
or if you have a flexible schedule, maybe go to like a matinee at like Tuesday at like noon or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Probably won't be too many people there.
Or just become a Hollywood insider where you can get a private screening. But I feel like to become a Hollywood insider, you have to do a lot of sex crimes. So that's probably great.
Not
Depends on what you're into, I guess. Yeah.
Not necessarily a deal breaker for me.
Yeah,
we will talk.
You are sex crime the person, but yeah.
Yeah. Hey, look, a little white couch never hurt anyone. Except all the people it hurt, apparently. But
why would you use a white couch? That makes no sense. That's just like
you don't see certain stains on it.
I would have thought that a white couch, a lot more stains would pop up on it, though.
Depends what kind of stains.
I guess, but yeah, wouldn't they turn yellow at some point?
To be honest, I've never just left semen on a white couch and aged it to see what it's. Speaking of leaving semen to age on a white couch, hi Scott.
Let's go, Scott.
I was wondering if we were doing a weighing out, and I was like, I haven't seen nothing. But then I got really busy, and I was like, I'll just go back, scroll through. They're doing StreamYard. Oh. I
like they did the whoop, boop. So we don't know what Nick's up to. I assume he's probably trying on his suit and then probably trying to figure out how he can modify it with Lycra. So,
the Lycra's underneath. It's showing in the
Yeah. I assume he's kind of like Superman, where he always wears the suit underneath. So it's like in the middle of the wedding, Nick, there's an emergency bike ride going on. We need you. He takes off his top hat, and there's a fucking helmet underneath.
Right? And then he calls his bike, comes around the corner, woo, sits out front, jumps on.
I'm just getting a kick out of this idea that he'd be wearing a top hat at a wedding.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How
are you gonna hide the helmet?
That's the thing. Yeah, no, but I have this funny image of him wearing like a much too large top hat around his head, and everyone's kind of wondering, why does that fit so well?
What? Hold on. What about a sombrero?
Oh, sombrero. Yeah, you could. I mean, yeah.
It might be a bit odd at a low family wedding. Like,
hey, check out this. Check out Nick.
Why is Nick being all Mexican? He's like, he throws you off. He's like, hey, I brought burritos to the wedding.
Yeah, we always thought Nick came from the weird side of the family, but this cultural appropriation thing he's doing this time is just like really weird. I don't know. He's going to work. He's going around calling everyone cabron. I don't fucking know, man.
Alexa, turn off the living room light.
Yeah, Alexa. Alexa, turn it back on.
Alexa, you dirty whore.
Oh, Alexa, hello. I was in Niagara today. My mom was saying, I think my cat might have a tumor or something. So I kind of checked. Obviously, I'm not a vet, but I kind of checked the cat.
It's not a tumor.
Well, that's the thing. I'm like, I don't think it's a tumor. And mom's like, well, I don't know. Like otherwise, what is it? I'm like, I think your cat's just really, really fat. And she's like, well, I'm having the vet come. I'm like, have the vet come. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not a fucking vet. So, I'm just giving you my opinion. But I'm like, this to me just feels like a fat cat. Like there's nothing. She's like, I feel bumps. So like, that's her gut. Like,
yeah. Cats are just big bowls. When they get fat, they just become big bowls of jelly. Like they're just.
She's like, I don't feed her very much. I'm like, first of all, I don't believe you. Number two, I mean, the cat sleeps 23 and a half hours a day. Like it just gets up to eating shit. Like it's like, of course, it's just conserving calories.
Yeah, you could feed it normal and it would still get fat on that kind of activity like that.
Mm.
Like my cat's getting bigger, but he's not getting fatter. He's just putting muscle on because he's exercising all the time. And he's just growing up, of course, because
yeah. Well, we got our one cat, Claudia, who's like fucking. I don't know. Somehow she's one of those cats where I feel she's got every disease, but somehow she's like Mr. Burns. She just survives. So she's skinny, and there are other cats getting a little fatter, but she's very active. Supposedly she's 7, but I don't think she is. She seems way too active and sprightly to be 7, in my opinion. But.
So what are you drinking, Scott?
Rum and Coke.
Ah.
I needed to get the most amount of alcohol in me in the cheapest way possible.
I applaud the ingenuity.
Right. Guess what I made today?
$1 million.
From scratch. Full roast chicken, the whole fucking chicken.
Oh yeah, you were showing a picture there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good, delicious.
Nice.
I think this is the first time I've ever done that. I've made chicken in other places, and like I knew how to do it. I just never done a whole chicken before.
Cool.
So then I came home, I came over here, and my wife said that Havana was playing Minecraft at the trailer. So I'm here at home. She's at the trailer Havana's at the trailer. My daughter. But I remembered I created a site-to-site VPN tunnel from the trailer to here. So I started up Minecraft. There's her game. I'm like, I joined in the game. I went in and I just went to where she was at, and and so Mallory videotaped it. She's like, oh my God. So we played for an hour or two, and just farted her out, right? But super excited that I was there, right?
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. And now I am working to image a USB drive. I know, techie stuff. You guys aren't into tech.
I just want to know when Greg AI is up and running.
Okay, so I'm working.
All right.
So my server has a whole bunch of other servers. It's like a virtual server. And my main server kept on rebooting, and I'm like, what's going on? So I threw it into AI, and I said, hey, AI, here's the logs. Tell me what's wrong. And it said, oh, hey, your drivers for this, this storage controller is out of sync. Why don't we update it? I said, great, let's update it. He gave me the instructions, typed it out, rebooted, lost all my hard drives.
No good.
That's rude. Fuck you, AI. You're screwing over Scott.
Yeah, the files are still there. The hard drives are still good. It's just the controller, the thing that makes the thing that tells the server how to read the other, like the files, is gone. And the files are still there. The files are still good. It's just the communication's not working. So I've been working on it for like a week, and not really too hard, but I've been working on it for like a week. And I finally came to the realization I'll just have to reinstall. But hopefully I can do that without erasing the hard drive with all the images. The other thing was Greg AI needs a more powerful graphics card, and it only had a 2 gig graphics card in it, because I'm like, it's a headless server. It doesn't need a graphics card, so I threw in a junky graphics card. But Greg AI,
Greg demands more.
Demands more. So I have a graphics card that barely meets Greg AI standards.
Wow.
In a secondary computer. So I took an even older graphics card, a 6 meg graphics card, put it in that, took the 8 gig graphics card and put it in the server. So Greg AI has all the hardware it needs now to run. I just need to get the hard drives up there. I know.
So what is Greg AI going to do?
It's going to be AI, but crass.
It's gonna be basically like, how regular AI, it's like, hey, here's this girl I'm stalking. Can you now make her naked? And AI's like, no, we can't do that. Greg AI will be like, yeah.
What kind of graphics card do you need for a human thumb? Like,
you'd be surprised. You got to render all of this beauty.
So Greg AI cannot make images.
Oh.
It can only do text.
Yeah, because that would get the creator of Greg AI in jail very quickly.
Maybe. But AI still has the guardrails where it won't tell you how to murder someone, or it won't do something illegal. But the way it's going to talk to you is the way that Greg would talk to you. right? It'll swear. It'll be
What the fuck?
very sex positive.
Yeah, penis and vagina.
Yeah. What else? What else? What other things? Okay, here's a good thought experiment. What other things defines Greg so that I can put those things into Greg AI?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot. Well, there should be very little filter to it, so it's like, I don't sugarcoat things. If somebody says, "Hey, I've been riding, I spent 25 hours this week riding my bike, and I'm losing weight," and I say to you, "Yeah, but have you gone to a doctor to check your heart? Have you applied to any new jobs, or have you went on Tinder to try to find a girl?" And I mean, these are just hypothetical. I'm not talking about anything in specific. These are things I might suggest to somebody.
Right. Have you gone to the dentist? Have you gone to have you gone to see a shrink? Have you, or someone for your mental health?
So I feel where a regular AI, perhaps if there is a Lady Lee AI, might coddle somebody and say, "Hey, you're doing a really good job. We're very proud of you." Greg is the kind of person that says, "Yeah, but did you do this? Did you do this?" And then Greg lists off all the things you didn't do. And the next thing you know, you're in the shower, crying in a ball, crying because suddenly your accomplishments mean nothing to Greg AI.
Wow.
Yeah, so psychological trauma, that is what needs to be programmed into Greg AI.
Okay. Greg AI, I just went to a party and I spilled beer on my new pair of jeans. What should I do?
Burn them
in the fire.
And it's like, okay, I did what you asked. It's like, but did you burn the pants you're wearing too? No, I only burnt the one pair. Burn them all.
And then burn your parents' house down.
Well, first I'd say burn your underwear so your dong's hanging out. Then burn your parents' house down with your dong out.
That'll make you look more good.
It's like the witnesses to the fire said there was a 3-legged man just running around fucking burning the house down. We don't know what the hell.
Might have been a chupacabra.
And singing burning down the house.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's
Greg AI will tell you that you don't need to talk about collective arts history every time you do a collective arts beer on BA101.
No, it'll just write the history for you and do like a really half-assed job of it. Yeah, Collective Arts, it's a brewery in Ontario. We've reviewed a bunch of their shit. Who cares? Let's do the beer.
True.
All right, let's see what I got. I don't have anything super exciting, but I'll still let you guys pick what I should drink next. All right. Actually, I have very little in my fridge. So we got a 4.5% session IPA, 6.5% hazy, 5.5. This is a Mexican style lager.
Oh, do that
for Mexican. All right. Other options are a regular lager at 4.4% and a stout at 6%.
Mexican lager.
No.
Wow.
Oh no.
I thought like Lady Lee just joined the chat or something.
No, I'm trying to burn a thing. Image Burn has this I don't know, thing where it when it fails it goes, "Oh no."
Oh, wow.
I should try like burn a CD.
I'm trying to take a USB drive and make an image so I can store it somewhere else and put a new image on top of it.
Yeah, okay. I have a whole bunch of, I don't even know if they're CDs or blank CDs or DVDs that I probably should just throw out, but I should see if anyone wants them.
That's the thing. I got a bunch of stuff on fucking CDRs and stuff, like personal files and stuff, but it's like I don't have a working CD drive anymore on anything. So
well, I mean, if it's worth backing up, I mean, I think a CD drive on Amazon is something like $20 for like a USB one or something.
Yeah, I need to grab one real quick so I can just like get it on a thumbstick somewhere.
I mean, fuck, it's Amazon. If you really want to be a dick about it, you could just literally buy it, use it, and return it.
Yeah.
Not that I've ever returned anything to Amazon.
No, who would do that?
Well, if you want your money back.
Yeah. No, our house is like a fucking Amazon depot. My wife orders so much shit from them, but she also returns a lot of stuff. So it's always guys picking up, guys dropping off, guys picking up. It's like, oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure our account would have been fucking disabled by now if it wasn't that my wife just probably keeps way more than she actually returns. But we still have a stupid amount of returns.
Hey boys, hope everybody's good. Been a fan of Mr. Lee since the Kraken rum review, by the way. Jesus Christ, that's a while.
I was gonna say that's an old review.
Yeah, that's very old.
Was that be back in the Hoogly days?
That would probably be Hoagly beer review days. Yeah, I'm thinking. Yep. Oh, hope you're doing well as well. Thank you.
Long-time fan.
Yeah. You need to I would suggest perhaps you reevaluate your life decisions, but
hey, I mean, listen, he said he enjoyed your reviews. He didn't say he has a shrine to you in his basement or anything.
I'm just trying to cover all bases here, just in case.
Yes, if you do in any way worship him as a god, we recommend against it.
Yeah.
I mean, I do, but that's just me.
Well, but
you're deeply flawed, though. So that we already expect that.
He's also probably trying to put you into an AI as well. He's trying to make AI of all of us.
I only have enough CPU power to make one AI.
Oh, thank fuck.
For now, but then Greg AI will help you make more money.
I don't think Greg AI can make me money, can it?
I guess we'll find out. Scott, go out to the street corner and pick up a John. You will make money.
I mean, if it's got Greg's brain, then it probably has like some decent investment ideas that you could pick it.
Might take you a while. Might take you kind of 20 years to really kind of invest a lot and establish yourself, but you'll get there eventually.
Yeah, or at the very least, you'll have like a real nice nest egg for Havana if you're not around in 20 years.
There you go. She'll have I feel Havana. Havana's lucky she's the only child, so it's like, she's got a house and a trailer waiting for her potentially one day.
Well, I have to buy a house first.
Oh, that's right. You haven't bought another house yet. I keep thinking that you did. So you're in your condo now, right?
Apartment,
okay.
Yes. There's a difference between a condo and apartment.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I tend to interchange the terms, but
yeah, Mr. been living in condos for so long, he doesn't even know the difference.
So many condos, I just go around and collect them all.
He comes out of his fancy condo down on the street, and he sees some bum in a cardboard box. Nice condo, pal.
It's like, hey, I'm in an apartment, dick face. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. I didn't know the difference.
In today's economy, cardboard box and condo are pretty much the same.
Yeah. Bradshaw 2112 says, I'm drinking some cheap beers and still alive, so can't complain. Yeah, that's good.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. What are you drinking? What cheap beers are you drinking? We're going to judge you.
We won't judge you too harshly, but yeah, what are you drinking?
Speaking of, so this is Van Life. This is my Mexican style lager, and yeah, I get it. It is Mexican style. It's kind of has that cerveza-ness to it. It's a little heavier, a little sweeter than I expect for a cerveza. Which, I was a little surprised it's 5.5. That strikes me as a bit high for a Mexican lager, but
yeah, that is a little high. Yeah, that is a little high for that. But I am drinking now from Tadamagush their Decorum Light Lager, which is at 2.9% alcohol.
Ooh, big ABV there.
Oh yeah.
I wish there were more places that made like 2.9% like lagers on a regular basis. That's just a fantastic pool beer. You can drink like 8 of those in an afternoon and still be functional in the evening. It's great.
And this actually has a lot of flavor for a light beer. It's probably one of the more flavorful light beers I've had. So.
I want if that's the case, why don't you just get a non-alc?
because I want to.
It's nice to get a bit of a buzz.
Yeah. The amount of non-alcohol beer you'd have to do to get a buzz would be insane.
Yeah.
You'd be pissing it out quicker than you.
You'd be shotgunning those beers to maybe what do you need, like 10 of them to equal one like Molson Canadian or something?
God, I think even more than that. I think even more than that, because most non-alcohol beers these days are either 0.5 or lower. So
yeah, I mean, I think 0.5 is usually the standard. So Sneaky Weasel.
Just the volume of liquid you'd have to drink. That makes my insides hurt. Just thinking about
Well, yeah, but it's still beer, so it would make you really bloated too. It's not like you're just chugging water, which at least you could piss out and be relatively okay. Beer, you'd be like, I'm so bloated. So yes, that's why like a nice 3%, 3.5% beer is nice. It's like, okay, this and it's not going to annihilate me, but I do get a bit of a buzz.
Yeah, this Decorum basically has the alcohol of like a Belgian table beer or whatever, like a patter beer or whatever the fuck kind of thing, or like a traditional saison almost, in that sort of range. Where you could give this to your field hands and they wouldn't get drunk.
Yeah, this is the kind that there's this guy known Chad the albino rhino. I know you guys have never heard of him, but he apparently is a big advocate of these low ABV saisons.
Yeah, so Sneaky Weasel for Bradshaw, and then saying, I used to drink Colt 45, tasted like a mix of poverty and personhood.
I mean, that's basically what it's supposed to taste like, yeah.
Yeah.
I had to look up Sneaky Weasel. So it's from Balderdash Brewing Company, 5.6%, mildly hopped craft lager. So all right, that sounds good.
I've had a Sneaky Weasel once before.
Oh,
trying to think where it was.
Was it a beer or a sex move?
No, it was a beer. It might have been when I was in Ontario.
Oh.
Sneaky Weasel sounds like a British sex move, like specifically a British term,
I brought her to bed with me and I gave her the old Sneaky Weasel, and then I gave her a knock on her noggin.
I took the bird out. We saw a show. We went down to the old kebab place, had some kebab with some pea wets on it, and then I took her back to my flat and gave her the Sneaky Weasel, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, right. I hate the fact that you're better at doing just about any impression.
I mean, I'm sure Michael Caine has done the Sneaky Weasel.
Oh, definitely he's done the Sneaky Weasel.
I've done the Sneaky Weasel. In fact, my lovely wife Shakira taught me the Sneaky Weasel.
But do you think the Sneaky Weasel is something that Werner Herzog might do?
Weasels are known to be very sneaky, and they're very dumb, flat-brained creatures who dig in holes and burrow through places, and they've gained the name and the reputation of Weasel from their bad character, and they remind me of Kinski. Once a weasel tried to sneak into my house, and I said no.
Okay, like I'm dying of the thought of fucking Klaus Kinski being the Sneaky Weasel. It seems like he was doing the Sneaky Weasel the whole time on fucking Nosferatu.
I mean, no, not Nosferatu. Well, actually, yeah, it would be the Nosferatu in Venice is where he was doing the Sneaky Weasel to all the fucking actresses. Yeah.
Man, Dan gave me the finger for my fucking bench van life. Like, Jesus, Dan.
Wow, what a rotten Dan! Wow. I demand you come in here and defend yourself for that fucking bullshit. Bradshaw says I buy the 24 pack, $42.
Oh, that's a great deal. That's less than $2 a can. Mm-hmm. I would fucking buy that too. I see it's apparently available in 710 King cans too. In case you just want that.
I was in a superstore and I walked by the beer aisle and I saw a 6-pack for like $5 something. And I'm like, oh wow, that's a really great beer. And it was like President's Choice beer or something. I'm like, is it worth it? And then I look at it and I'm like, oh, it's non-alc. Oh no, it's not.
Yeah. Some of those President's Choice ones, the actual alcohol ones, are terrible. I've had a couple that were pretty good. So.
The no-name beer was not awful either. It was I don't know if that was under President's Choice or who that was. I think that's Loblaws.
Was it no name as in like the yellow label with the black?
Yeah,
text?
it was a yellow label, no-name beer. I mean, it was one of the ones Nick and I reviewed on our condo balcony, and that was not about. I mean, for what it was, a basic bitch lager. It's better than a lot of American macros.
So is it like done by another brewery, just using the label as like a novelty?
I think it was contract brewed, and then no. So it actually was the no name brand. It was their beer. They got some brewery to contract brew. I forget who they actually. I'm not even sure if it's still available, to be honed. But
yeah, I was wondering if no name's still a brand. Like,
yeah, it is.
Is this
when Doug Ford was pushing his Buck of Beer thing? It was one of the Buck of Beer ones. That Cool Beer and like one or two others were doing the whole Buck of Beer thing, which was stupid because they're actually losing money every time they sold you beer.
Yeah. So who is no name the generic brand for? Because they're for like it's not Superstore, right?
I thought it was Loblaws, but maybe I'm wrong.
Her name is Loblaws. Yeah.
Loblaws. Okay. I mean, Superstore is under Loblaws, but.
Is President's Choice still Loblaws as well?
Yep.
Okay.
It's their more boutique brand.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, because
so no name generic brand. It's No Frills, Real Canadian Superstore, Loblaws, and Shoppers Drug Mart. Okay.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because Sobeys we got the our compliments, and we got Signal, and got. I think another one's called what's the other one called? Source or something like that. I don't know. We got a couple fucking generic brands. One of them's the boutique one that you can tell it's the boutique one because the text is a little bit of a different font. They got a new 8% beer, but I can't handle the hangover anymore. Oh yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Wiley Wolverine.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the problem is that, the 8% beer, you can't drink as many or you'll get fucked up. Whereas with the Sneaky Weasel, you can sneak that weasel into you all night and you're probably all right.
Yeah.
I'm generally somebody, unless I'm day drinking, like in the evening, I'd rather have less beers that are higher ABV. So I'd rather have like 3 8% beers or versus like 6 5% beers. That's what I'm doing in the evening. But that's just because I find after a while you're just like, I've had too much beer. It's just like I'm getting bloated right now.
Yeah, I'm finding that's the thing. Like if I'm having something that's like around 5 or 6%, I'll tend to drink too many and be a problem. But if I have like 3 8% or something like that, then it's like I'm fine. I don't have to drink anything else. Or if I'm just having like a bunch of like stuff like this, then I'm fine.
Yeah. I haven't got day drunk in a long time. I tried last weekend, but unsuccessful. Being a parent got in the way.
Oh, well, yeah, that's kind of a thing. Is like when Agnes and I are in the pool. Now, granted, Agnes hasn't been going to the pool for a few weeks since she broke her foot. We're gonna try to get her in the pool this weekend for the first time. Yay! But other than like, I think I just jumped in the pool once after a longer bike ride last weekend. I mean, that's I haven't really gone in the pool at all, so I haven't been day drinking like at all, like a healthy adult. But in the pool, I enjoy drinking a few beers, but I try to keep it fairly low ABV so I can be mildly functional by the evening time.
By the Sneaky Weasel time.
Yeah. If I drink Sneaky 5-6, I mean that's not low enough. I would get fucked up on Sneaky Weasel because the sun also multiplies the alcoholic effects. Trust me, I'm a scientist. That's a thing.
Oh yeah, renowned scientist.
Renowned scientist. Listen, they're turning me into AI. Why else would they do that if I wasn't a scientist?
Because they're full of bad ideas. That's why.
No.
It's just
maybe
Scott's just got bad ideas, and
That's for sure.
I mean, look who he's friends with.
You guys, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And mostly Nick, though. I stick to mass produced stuff. I tried an IPA and never ventured further on the price of
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
My old man drank Molson for 50 years. All right.
Well, I mean, I feel everyone of that generation probably drank Molson or whatever. Like, my dad used to drink Molson IPA, which I didn't even know existed. He's like, yeah, that was my favorite, Molson IPA. I'm like, is it actually an IPA? I'm not sure if it was. I don't think it's been around since like the 80s or the 90s.
I mean, if you go back far enough, you look at all their like portfolios and stuff. Like, it's hard to do these days because, like, unless you're like some sort of obsessive nerd who's keeping records, you don't really find it on their websites or anything like that. Like, they don't, like Molson, the company doesn't talk about its past. It'll bring up legacy beers once in a while, rebrand them or whatever kind of thing, but it won't talk about its past unless it's trying to sell you something. But like, the fucking, there's plenty of breweries that, now they're just known for making slop lagers or whatever, but they probably had an IPA in their portfolio like back in the 50s or something like that, or earlier on than that even. And it eventually just became like what Alexander Keith's IPA came, where it's basically just a lager now, right? But
that's what I'm kind of assuming. It probably had one hop pellet thrown into it, and it's like it's an IPA now.
Yeah, and I mean a lot of those would have been closer to like a British IPA, so they probably all would have been like between 4 and 5% or something like that, and probably maybe a little bit hoppier or something, but otherwise not particularly what you would recognize as an IPA today anyway. So,
I mean, I would love it if they fucking would do like limited runs of, hey, here is this beer that we released for a couple years in the 50s, and we're going to recreate it exactly. We're not going to add corn syrup. We're not going to mass produce it. Let's just release this beer as it was back then. And I'd be like, I would absolutely want to try that,
I mean, they sometimes did that stuff too. Like every once in a while, I'll run into a commercial or whatever for like some obscure like Molson brand or some other brand from another big company, like some Labatt brand or something that they ran like in a certain region of Canada for like a year or something, and it didn't take off, so they stopped doing it. Like probably the first real tippy toes into like doing quote unquote craft beer back in the 90s. Some of these big companies were like trying that, and it didn't catch on. But
yeah, that's the unfortunate thing is I think like people like us might be interested to try it just because, oh, this is a novelty, but would the average drinker buy it enough to justify it? Probably not.
No.
People like my dad are dying off, so it's like, okay, so you're not going to get their nostalgia too much. Like how many people are like, oh, I was drinking beer in the 50s and I want to try this nostalgic thing. Probably a lot less than there used to be.
Bradshaw says, I like Coors Banquet. They renamed it to Original and was never the same. Yeah, that's because they started brewing it here. That's why they renamed it. The banquet you were getting would have been the actual banquet for a while. But as soon as they started moving their brewing over to this side of the border, they changed the name to Original. And so you're getting a different beer. So yeah, I agree with you. The Coors Banquet is a really decent, big mass-produced beer, and the American Original Banquet is really good. But yeah.
Are the ones that? Do you know which brewery brews it?
I think it's Molson. Yeah, it's Molson Coors. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, okay.
So they'll Montreal. So they'll do that, right? Like they'll bring some over across the border for a while, test it in the market or whatever, see if it works out, because they have plans. Okay, if this works out, then we'll start producing it here. And sometimes they'll have to rebrand it because of legalities or whatever. Like, I was thinking of like Blue Moon is called something different here in Canada, right? And they make it here in Canada under the different name. They just recently did it with Modelo, although luckily I can still get the imported Modelo at my NSLC. but I can also just buy the Canadian-made Modelo in cans, which isn't the same. So,
Yep.
I'm just hoping they don't cut off my ability to get regular Modelo. I hope that continues to be a thing. If I can still get the 6 packs of bottles, I'll be happy. But
Now, okay, so in your opinion, what beer is brewed better in Canada than it is overseas or whatever, right?
I don't think I can think of anything.
I have one, and I don't wish to say it, but I think from my past experience, now this was a while ago at Duty Free, I do believe Canadian Moosehead is better than the U.S. brewed Moosehead.
It's all brewed same place.
Okay, well, whatever. No, sorry, am I confusing Moosehead with what was the one that I used to get Duty Free that I thought was brewed in different places? I thought it was Moosehead. Or was it is Alexander Keith's all brewed here?
Well, how long ago though?
It might be Keith's. It might be Keith's.
Maybe it was Keith's I'm thinking about, because those are the ones I used to often pick up at Duty Free because they were cheap and I didn't give a fuck about. I mean, we're talking this would have been like before I was into craft beer, so this would have been like 2010, something in that range.
Yeah, I think that was Keith's, because I'm pretty sure for quite some time, like I know Keith's used to be imported, and I think they just started brewing it over there eventually.
I just remember like there was one, so you could get one. I think it was like if you got it going into the U.S., you got the one that was brewed in Canada. If you got it coming back from the U.S., you got the one that was brewed in the U.S., and they tasted very different.
Hmm.
I think that I'm not sure the ABV may have been different from what I remember, but it's going back a while. So, like it's like very early in Eggs, a nice relationship when we started going to Detroit a lot, and I was like, oh, I can get this beer for like it was like stupid. It was like 2-4 of beer for like fucking $25 or whatever it was. Like, oh, this is great. I can get drunk on it.
That's a buck of beer.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, it was basically a buck of beer. It was great. I mean, especially on the U.S. side. The U.S. side had crazy good deal. I mean, if you like the big stuff, it was great. The funny thing is, though, you actually go into Michigan, the prices are even better. It's like, on Duty Free, it's like, oh, get, 60 Coors Light for whatever it is, like $50 or whatever. But like, at the fucking grocery store, you can get a 2-4 of Coors Light for $15.99. It's like, oh.
Okay, question. In Quebec, you can get 24 beers, 36 beers.
Yeah, you can get those big mega cases. Yeah,
big mega cases for like $40.
Yeah,
that's almost a buck of beer.
Yeah, they don't have the taxes on their shit like we do.
Right. Well, okay, hold on, and it's also on reserve. It's on Indigenous reserve.
Mm-hmm.
So there's even less taxes.
Yeah.
Good old Campbellton, New Brunswick. Right across the border is the reserve. Go over and you get your Coors Light for like just over a buck of beer.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
So yeah, just to answer that, and I'm assuming, because the AI is pulling this from a couple of articles. Yes, Alexander Keith's was brewed in the USA in 2011 when Anheuser-Busch produced 3 specific styles: Nova Scotia Lager, which is probably their India Pale Ale under a different name, Pale Ale, and Brown Ale. Wow, they made a brown ale at their Baldwinsville, New York brewery for the American market. Oh, no, they say traditional flagship beers like Keith's India Pale Ale continue to be brewed in Canada. All right. So there you go. Yeah.
There we go.
So I don't know how long they kept doing it, but all right, where do we go here? Bradshaw says in BC they took all U.S. booze off the shelves. Missed my Knob Creek and Wild Turkey bourbon.
Oh
Prices
yeah, I
don't
agree
hit
with
the
that.
same. Oh yeah. With same thing here, man. So
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I fucking love bourbon. I was able to get a few bottles of bourbon, some Jacks and some Knob Creek. Knob Creek's my favorite bourbon. A couple months ago, but unfortunately, I've gone through those bottles. So yeah, I mean, it's a kind of good in one sense because I love my bourbon, and you give me a pint of bourbon, I can drink it practically as fast as I can drink a pint of beer. So it's a little unhealthy for me. Because I love it a little too much. But yeah, every now and then having a nice bottle of bourbon, Knob Creek, Buffalo Trace, all that shit, Eagle Rare, so good.
mm.
Isn't it bourbon that you have to like it isn't bourbon, it has to be from, is it Kentucky or Tennessee or whatever, right?
No, traditionally it is from Kentucky, but technically bourbon can be brewed anywhere distilled anywhere in the U.S.
Yeah, it's just got to have 51% corn in the mash bill, and you also have to age it in charred oak barrels. So
Hey, they have to be original barrels, which is the reason why literally every other industry gets bourbon barrels, because bourbon barrels can only be used once for bourbon, and then after that they have to be sold and
you can't add anything to it, like. So that's kind of where the iffy rule of when it comes to Jack Daniels, they want to be distinct, so they got their charcoal filtering or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, but, what do they call it? The
Tennessee whiskey. It's a Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah, Tennessee whiskey, but there's literally a name for the charcoal filtering. They call it. I just can't remember. I'm gonna see if I can look it up. But
yeah, I don't give a fuck what they say. They're bourbon.
It's pretty close to bourbon. I will say it does have a distinct taste. I do think if you're being really anal about it, they do flavor it a little bit. So, but yeah, like if I asked for a bourbon and somebody gave me Jack Daniels, I wouldn't be like, no, fuck you, this is not bourbon. It's like, it's close enough. Like it's like a cunt hairway.
So I mean, like when you get champagne, it has to be from the Champagne region in France for it to be called champagne. So, and I thought bourbon was the same. It had to come from the same. It had to come from the.
Well, it has to come from the U.S. Like it has to be a U.S. product. But most of it does come from Kentucky, but it doesn't necessarily. Like a distillery in Michigan could make a bourbon and still call it a bourbon. Now, to be a straight bourbon, I think you have to age it for 4 years. If I'm not, I think a regular bourbon is minimum 2 years. I think a straight bourbon is 4 years. I might be slightly off on that, but there's rules for how you label it. Like you can label a bourbon at one point, then it's a straight bourbon at another point, and like the rules become more strict. The more like specific you get with the naming scheme.
Yeah. So okay, all right, cool. Here's a thought pattern here. What if you label something bourbon and it's not made in the U.S.?
You'll get sued, probably.
You can get sued.
Okay, no, and yeah, I get it. You get sued by someone in the U.S. What if Canada, because we're having this trade war with the U.S., doesn't recognize U.S. patents anymore?
Well, it'll
Trump
definitely
will probably shit his diaper and add another 50% tariffs.
Those Canadians, they're waging a war against our trade patents.
Like you're already giving us 50% more, so I'm like, bring it on. We're just gonna say we're not gonna look at your patents. We're not gonna follow your rules. We're just gonna.
There are some Canadian whiskeys that are very good at mimicking bourbon. If you haven't tried it, Bradshaw, I would recommend Barn Burner whiskey. It is a little bit sweeter than bourbon, but it's the closest Canadian whiskey I've tried that is similar to bourbon. I would recommend it. And it's also very cheap. It's like $35 a bottle or something. So it's a really good value too. But again, they don't call it a bourbon. They still call it a Canadian whiskey, and Canadian whiskey is the most obtuse term because it's just like, it's brewed in Canada. It's a Canadian whiskey. It can be a single malt. It can be a fucking, it can be a corn whiskey. It can be, a typical bullshit Canadian whiskey that's really only good for mixing. But
yeah, it can just taste like butterscotch. And then, yeah,
there's a Quebec Canadian whiskey with maple syrup infused in it that is quite delicious, but it's super sweet. It is the sweetest whiskey I've ever tasted.
yeah, I mean, it depends if you're. I've tried maple syrup whiskey. I don't particularly like it because I don't really like things that are that sweet. But yeah, if you are the type of person that really likes a sweet whiskey, then you'll probably enjoy it.
Yeah.
And for me, I do like more sweeter things rather than tart. But don't get me wrong, tart drinks have a place in my heart. But for some reason, I'm yawning. For some reason, I like, I do like the sweeter drinks. Speaking of a sweeter drink, I'm gonna get another one.
All right.
There you go. By the way, the what I was thinking of, it's called the Lincoln County process. That's what
Yeah.
So that's their charcoal filtering, and I mean, yeah. Again, I think you can argue. I think if you want to be super anal about it, yeah, it probably is a distinct product from bourbon. I mean, what's the other one? George Dickel. I think they do a Tennessee whiskey as well. That's very similar to Jack Daniels.
They're the only other one, yeah.
But again, I mean, the movie The Shining, he orders a bourbon and he gets Jack Daniels. It's like, it's close enough. Like, it's like, unless I want to be really anal about it, yeah, it's close enough. Like,
yeah. My buddy drinks Wildcat Lager. I swear he's keeping it in the production line. Yeah, drinking the old shitty kitty. Yeah. I liked Knob Creek Rye better than Alberta Premium. I mean, yeah, no kidding.
Oh yeah, it's way better. Any fucking real rye is better than. I mean, Alberta. Okay, that's not fair. Alberta Premium is a real rye, but it's a mass produced one. Now, I've heard the Alberta Premium, the actual barrel strength one, is actually quite good, but the mass produced one that you mostly get in the plastic bottle, that's not very good.
No, it's just like, butterscotch with a little bit of rye in it. Yeah. I tried 40 Creek. Yeah, 40 Creek's not what it used to be.
No, that one went so far down. No, that used to be my favorite whiskey, hands down. Granted, that was before I got into bourbon, but that was an excellent whiskey. And since John Hall sold it, I don't even know if that dude's still alive anymore. But since he sold it, it's now just a generic Canadian whiskey. It's meh.
Rittenhouse was a favorite. Yeah.
I had Rittenhouse. I'm not sure if I had that one or not.
I tried Alberta Springs, but they sold out to Big Jim Beam. Yeah. I like Jim Beam Black.
I mean, Knob Creek is made by Jim Beam. So it's Booker's, Baker's, what's the other one? Basil Hayden. All of them are actually quite good. So, like, Jim Beam can actually make very good bourbons. It's just their basic one is basic. But here's the thing about bourbon is, like, even a basic one like Jim Beam White is still fine. Mm-hmm. It's not the greatest bourbon you've ever had by a big margin, but it's still, you're not gonna drink it and be disappointed. Like I'd much rather that over like a fucking basic Canadian Club or basic like blended Scotch or something like that.
Jim Beam White is probably one of the most perfect like bourbons for mixed drinks.
Oh yeah,
because it's pretty neutral for a bourbon, but like that's its biggest strength. Like it's so good in like old fashions and stuff like that. If you're getting like a whiskey drink.
I love how I looked up Rittenhouse, and this is what came up. I love the fact. I mean, that fucker got away with murder, so I'm glad when you fucking look up his name, the first thing that comes up is him pretend crying on the fucking stand that he's actually sad that he murdered a bunch of black people. Like, fuck you, you piece of garbage.
He's just sad that he was maybe going to be held accountable for it, but he wasn't.
Yeah, luckily he wasn't. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll get his at some point. Somebody will eventually gun him down the streets like he guns a bunch of people down the streets.
Yeah, ironically, it'll be a black guy who'll get the death penalty for it.
Probably, sadly, yeah. Evan Williams is a favorite over JD. Yeah, Evan Williams is good. No Alberta Distillery is under Jim Beam. Yeah. Not surprised there.
I mean, I feel like, again, I feel when you compare stuff, Jack Daniels gets shit on a lot, and I understand it's not the highest quality whiskey by any means, but I do feel it has a fairly distinct taste. So, like, usually if I'm like, okay, I want something with a little bit more of a banana flavor to it, I'm like, ooh, I want that Jack Daniels. Like, it's, is it as good as Knob Creek or any other good bourbon? No, not even close, but somebody's just in the mood for that. A little bit of Jack Daniels banana tickle.
A little there, yeah.
Oh. Here, I thought I was done this van life, and frickin' I've got like half a can left. Okay.
Oh, watch out, Dan. Give you the finger again.
Oh, fucking Dan. I already had my next one. Next one's going to be Balls Falls Sessions IPA. So this is actually, I didn't have time today, but I want to go there. It's a little conservation park that's just, it's about 20 minutes from my mom's house. It's called Balls Falls. Not sure why. And it's just, it's a little ghost town there. There's like, it's a little ghost town that's now kind of become a museum and a waterfall. It's like a little 3-kilometer hike. It's kind of cool. I wanted to go there. I was supposed to go with Agnes, but now that she's broken her foot, I'm like, yeah, I better go myself because there's like no chance you're going to go anytime. And
just remind Agnes, it's a good thing this isn't the 1930s because you break your leg, we put you down and get another one. That's
shoot you out back and send you to the glue factory.
That's right. I'm sure she'd appreciate that joke.
I'm not sure she'd get it.
I mean,
I'm not sure she even listens to Greg half the time, so probably.
No, I think she just acknowledges me and then goes talks to her boyfriend probably.
There you go.
I assume that's what she's always doing when I'm hanging out with you guys. Like, yeah, no, go hang out with your friends. You're having a great time.
Yeah.
Gentleman Jack is goat. I'm trying to remember if I've had Gentleman Jack.
So I have, and I've had it more than once because the consensus is Gentleman Jack is the better product. I disagree. I prefer regular old Jack Daniels, simply because Gentleman Jack, it's the same thing. It's Jack Daniels. I don't even think it's higher ABV. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't even think it's higher ABV. They just go through the charcoal process twice. The problem is the second time it strips too much of the flavor, and Gentleman Jack to me just is not as interesting as regular Jack Daniels. Now, regular Jack Daniels is rough. I usually enjoy my Jack Daniels with an ice cube to kind of calm it a little bit, but I don't usually like to have it neat. But I still think it's got a little more flavor than Gentleman Jack does.
So Gentleman Jack is kind of the Irish whiskey of bourbons.
Yeah, it's a little bit more like, it's definitely easier drinking, but to me, it's a little less interesting. Now, to me, the best Jack Daniels product I've had is Jack Daniels Silver Select. Now, at one point, it was duty-free exclusive. I don't know if that's still the case, but it's 50%. It's either 45. No, I think it's 50%. If I'm mistaken, let me look it up. But it's basically a close to barrel-proof Jack Daniels, and that one's very tasty. But again, it's Jack Daniels, so it's a little hot. So you probably do want to tame it with a little water or some ice cubes or something. Or I suppose you could just mix it too if you really wanted to. But
that's the money to me. That is the unique thing about Jack Daniels is it's very flavorful on its own, but it also works as a really great mix, which is usually not the case because usually if you have a whiskey that has like a lot of flavor and a little bit of flavor depth and character to it, it usually takes over whatever drink it's in. Unless
I'll happily take a bourbon like or Jack's over like mixing, like, to me, Canadian Club and ginger ale, no thank you, but fucking throw in some ginger ale and Jack's. Oh yes, that's fantastic.
Ginger ale and whiskey go together quite well. Like,
oh yes, I agree. It is 50%. I may have a bottle of Jack Daniel's Silver Select somewhere. I feel one of those bottles I may have ordered just because it's a cool bottle.
One of my introductions into whiskey, and this isn't whiskey. It really isn't, and it isn't anymore. But it was Fireball and ginger ale, and I loved the shit out of that for a long, long time until I really found other whiskeys that had different tastes in it, and really, but at least the Fireball opened my palate up to those kind of, drinks. Now,
Fireball, dude.
Fireball is not considered whiskey.
No, it's not. It's more. It's a liqueur, basically, is what it is.
Right. And when I'm out doing my wrestling gig, I just get like not a 750. What's the one below 750?
350.
Yeah.
Pint.
I get a pint of Fireball and just tuck it in my pocket and walk around drinking that all night.
Yeah.
And I'll drink a whole thing of that and get crunked.
Get Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But instead of carrying beers around and trying to find a place to put them keep them cold, or put them outside in the snow, don't do that. I've learned lessons about putting your beers outside in the snow in a motel or a hotel.
Well, yeah, you have to remember them.
Right. They're not just remember them, but make sure that no one's coming up to your.
Yeah,
to
you
your
got to
door.
guard them too. Yeah.
So I just keep this. I just keep it, in my pocket. And it's fine, warm, and whatever. Right. You just swing it back. That's my
Honestly,
go-to drink when I'm out on the road.
Honestly, the best I ever had from America was Wild Turkey 101, and it's cheap in the States. Yeah, Wild Turkey's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a solid product. Wouldn't say it's anywhere near my favorite bourbon, but it's a solid one. And especially, yeah, it's like fucking like $18 a bottle or something like that.
Yeah, that one's definitely like a couple steps above like your regular Jim Beams and stuff like that too. Yeah, I like Wild Turkey.
Change the topic. Hey, Mr. Lee, what's your thoughts about getting a new area code?
Oh yeah, I saw that. Where they're changing us to what the fuck? I can't remember what they're changing us to, but I saw something on Facebook. I don't know.
Where you're going from 902 and 782 to 851.
851. It's literally not going to affect my life at all because I barely ever use a phone. So,
and if you have a 902 or a 782 number, you're fine. Like they won't change it.
Well, so there you go. That would be my only concern, is that it would fuck up my parents because they still both use the phone often. So, but if it's not going to interfere with them in any way, shape, or form, I don't care, because I personally, I don't have a cell phone. I barely ever use landlines. So,
You never just decide to get on the telephone and talk for several hours with your besties?
No.
I mean, the only reason why you have a cell phone number is because you have a phone that you're going to text or use the internet for.
Yeah. And I had to do that once so I could unlock my PayPal, but and that's back when PayPal was kind of like the go-to service that I had for everything. But now that I have a fucking MasterCard or whatever, debit card and shit, that does all the online stuff that PayPal used to do for me, so I don't care anymore. I don't need it. So, and I mean, if I lose my Google account, oh no. I mean, whatever. I literally have no sad thoughts of like, oh, tomorrow I can't access my channel anymore and all my videos are lost to me. Whatever. I'm not precious about that at all. So
that's one thing I find so funny about Nick, is I'm like, he's always just so worried about losing his channel. I'm like, Nick, what is about your channel that like is so precious to you? Like,
you barely use your channel.
Yeah, it's like literally, it's like, okay, oh Nick, your channel got canceled because somebody dropped an N-bomb on it, which wouldn't happen anyway. Let's be honest.
No,
YouTube.
Because he's already so crushed by the algorithm that even the Google censor bots don't even look at his channel. So who cares? Like, come on. Like fuck
We
me.
just we can literally just go on. It's like, all right, what's the new movie, guys? All right, let's just show Supergirl on a Wednesday night. Everyone, come watch it with us.
Probably could get away with it, honestly. Now I'm thinking about it. Honestly, probably not. They probably still swipe, scan for that kind of shit. But for the most part, like the Matrix drones that go through Google looking for stuff, that they're looking for channels that have high traffic and they're like swearing or using certain forms of bigotry, and they allow some stuff. Whatever makes them money, they allow. But if it's a channel that's not making them any money, then they immediately just knock its dick in the dirt. But I suspect Nick's worried about it because it's one of those weekly routine things that he has in his life that if he didn't have it, then it would be like it'd be a source of anxiety and irritation to him to no longer have that to do. I imagine.
Yeah, he'd make quit beer analysis, and then us alcoholics would have to disperse on a Wednesday night.
Or we could just move over to my channel, and I would make it less formal, and I wouldn't talk about the history of the beer for collective arts. We wouldn't do collective arts beers. That would be the rule.
I just wouldn't.
I mean, the other thing I'll say, I do agree, like it could be done less formally, but the other thing I'll say is that it seems we generally have more people interested in showing up if there's like an actual beer review versus like, versus like you do hangouts. A lot of people don't show up. Perhaps personal issues today notwithstanding. I mean, Lady Lee never shows up for hangouts. Like but she is a fairly regular member of our panel for actual beer reviews, but as soon as it's a hangout, it's almost guaranteed she won't show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right. I mean, I'm good with either one, but I kind of like, I also don't necessarily feel that everything has to be online because I feel sometimes it's like more fun. It's like, oh, let's just shoot the shit offline and, and then like nobody gets upset if somebody says a swear word or something.
Yeah. And I thought this was going to be offline, and then I saw the StreamYard. I'm like, oh shit, it's online.
Yeah, you got to behave yourself, Scott, until we go offline. Then you can just unleash.
Well, listen, I out of the three of you, I'm the one that has the least to worry about behaviors.
Well, at least on your channel, we have some people interacting. Like we got Mr. Bradshaw over there. He's chatting with us. I like that. Nick's channel, we don't tend to get people, or we'll just have some random on there who will just like. He'll be on for like 3 comments, and then he'll be saying something creepy. It's like, all right, you got to leave, my friend.
Yeah, he'll say something creepy about Lady Lee, and then it's like, well,
usually that's how it goes. Yeah, I mean, for a while you had that dude who was following Carrie from his things, who was like the praise Jesus guy, but then it turned out he actually was like a very religious guy who like wanted like Lee as his second wife and all that, and really liked her feet, even though I don't think he's ever seen them. So I'm just like, you're a strange fella, mister. Yeah. And then I think there was something mentioned about. I think we made a joke about, oh, there's nothing wrong with being gay, and then he's like, yes, there is. I'm like, you're a naughty boy.
Yeah.
Having someone else gay, what does that do for you? Like if you're a straight, cisgendered, like heterosexual man, who cares if someone else is gay, right? What are they going to do for you? What are they going to do to you?
Listen, on a general basis, you can hold whatever beliefs you want. You can like something, not like something. But at the end of the day, what somebody does with their genitals, if it's not bothering you, what does it matter? Like,
What does it matter is 100%.
I can say, hey, maybe I don't like something, or maybe this grosses me out. But if other people like it, I don't like, okay, let's not even put gay or straighter into it. I don't like somebody to poop on me. But there are people that really, really like to be pooped on or to poop on other people. And if you have 2 consenting adults that are willing to poop on each other, I have no issue with that. You two enjoy. Smear it all over yourselves.
You be you, yeah.
But as soon as it's like, it's like who am I to say? Like that's like me coming to your house and saying, no, you shouldn't do that. It's disgusting. It's like, what do I care? You guys are doing it in the fucking comfort of your own. If you're doing it in the fucking middle of town square, yeah, let's get the cops involved and get you arrested. But
I've probably had more gay guys hit on me than I've had straight women hit on me in my life.
Oh, there
And
you go.
it's been nothing but flattering. It's like, well, I'm sorry, you're barking up the wrong tree there, bud. But I mean, I appreciate the compliments at the very least.
Well,
I once went to a gay bar. Now, like I said, whatever. You go to a gay bar. I go. My friends wanted to go, and I'm like, yeah, sure. Right? So I'm a straight guy, and I'm dancing with like ladies or whatever, right? And, minding my own business or whatever. And I said, I need to go up to get a drink. So I get up, go to the bar, and I'm like, yeah, I'll have whatever is going, right? And someone comes up to me and, kind of elbows me. Hey, how's it going? I'm like, oh, doing just fine. And they're like, so what are you doing? I'm like, what do you mean, what am I doing? I'm getting a drink. I'm like, no, I mean, like, what are you doing tonight? I'm like, I'm dancing with my friends over there. And then a friend of mine, that's a girl, actually, you might know the hot doctor, Jen, right?
oh, like the marine biologist.
Yeah. Comes up to the other side of me, and
Right.
says, "Hey," and starts talking to me. I'm like, "Oh." So I go back to the group, and she goes, he was hitting on you, right? I'm like, no. We were just talking about, what are we doing tonight and stuff like that. He's like, no, he wanted to take you home. I'm like,
yeah, he actually wanted to know who you're doing tonight.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Who you're doing tonight.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, flattering, right? If you drive someone's gears, man, cool. But, it has to be both ways.
Yeah.
So. Yep. What did I see the other day? Oh, or today. I saw that Benjamin Netanyahu is flying from Israel to the United States. And he asked for Canada's permission to fly over the east coast of Canada to get to the United States. And Canada didn't give him the okay, but they didn't give him the you can't fly over Canadian airspace. Because
so basically
Canada,
he's gonna do it anyway.
wow, yeah. But I mean, because Canada subscribes to the International Court, and the International Court has a warrant out for Benjamin Netanyahu on war crimes challenge.
Yeah.
War crimes.
I would have said yes and diverted his plane to Halifax and arrested his ass. But
so if he lands in Canada, he could be arrested for war crimes, right?
Yeah.
He's just flying over the airspace. So he asked, hey, can we fly over the airspace? Canada didn't say no, but Canada didn't say yes.
Yeah. That's the politically neutral, safe.
Well, that's kind of what Canada has to be nowadays in like this stupid political climate of all this bullshit. But yeah, it's like I don't think. Yeah,
because that guy that guy should be tried and hung.
Well, he's basically their Trump. Like he's a fucking awful.
He's worse
garbage
because he's actually calculated and he's a smart Nazi. He actually knows what he's fucking doing.
Yeah. But from what I understand, though, apparently, like he's more of a figurehead. There's apparently a lot of people pulling his strings. I'm not in any way saying he's not a shitty human being, but from what I understand, he's got a lot of people actually telling him what to do. Apparently, so
he doesn't control. He doesn't control the majority of his house, right? It's a like a collaboration of a few right wing.
It's a coalition. Yeah.
As tight as he can.
Yeah, no, he's a piece of garbage. He is. I mean, again, I think this is like, who would have thought in 2026 there's probably quite a few people in this military action that's going on that are probably rooting for Iran. It's like, oh, hey,
And it's funny. And I saw this. I don't know where. Every president for the last 4 presidents, so Trump, Obama, Biden. Who was before Obama?
It was Bush, yeah.
Yeah.
All 4 of those presidents were approached by the Israel government, and the Israel government trying to convince them to go bomb Iran.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, and Trump was the only one who said, "Yeah, sure, let's go do that."
Yeah, well, here's
Because
hoping
he's
Trump.
not allowed to do
Here's
that.
hoping Trump gets neutered in the midterms. Just doesn't have any more power. Because I mean, unfortunately, unless he dies, you're still stuck with several years of him. But they can completely neuter him in the midterms potentially. But we'll see what happens.
If he doesn't cancel the midterms first, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, some emergency war act that, oh no, America's under attack. We can't have an election during this time.
That's
And
how Zelensky's staying in.
And also the Democrats are so goddamn spineless, and they're not.
Yeah, I mean, half of
actually,
them are fucking. Yeah, half of them are fucking propping him up. So it's kind of it is kind of.
it's just-
It's kind of sad. It's like it's not even like you can even say the Democrats are the good guys. I think there are some good Democrats, but unfortunately, the majority of them are just.
they got to toe the party line. I mean, even
Well,
Bernie Sanders kissed the fucking ring. So.
Well, he did what he had to do, but I would still argue Bernie Sanders is among the better of the politicians.
The thing is, the Democrats don't have like a polarizing figure to get behind. Like, there's nobody that has stepped up and said, I'm going to be running for president. I'm the Democrat lead.
Well, I guess what's his name, Newston or whatever. I think he's probably the closest. Newsom,
all their choices are compromised. Basically, mostly Republican, Democrat in name only weirdos that are that are pushing for, well, we got to get the vote of middle America and stuff. Like, no, you really don't.
No. It's funny because here in Canada, Carney is not a liberal.
No, he's a right-wing businessman.
He's a right-wing liberal.
Yeah.
It's odd, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's a libtard or whatever." I'm like, "No, man, he's you look at his policies and all his things. He's on the conservative side of the house."
Because most people, when they just think of liberal, they're like, "Oh, Carney, he's letting all the trans take over and make our kids trans because they have no choice." It's like, no, and I mean, listen, I'm no lover of Trudeau. I really don't like the last 10 years of Trudeau, but I do like Carney. I do want to see him do a little bit more at home. I know all his time since he spent dealing with Trump, the fucking big baby to the south, but I do think Carney could probably do a little bit more at home. He does seem to be doing some stuff, like they're doing court reforms and stuff like that, which I'm happy about, which apparently now it's like when you commit a violent crime, you're not going to just fucking get out of prison the next day, because half the fucking people committing violent crimes and violent robberies are like, oh, these people are on fucking probation or bail already. It's like, oh, okay, and then we're just gonna let them out again because we apparently don't have enough prisons for them. So fucking make some camps outside the city. I don't care. Make a little Toronto Auschwitz. I don't mind. Yeah. Have really nice shower facilities. It's fine.
Come to my shower.
No, but I mean, you know what? We spent so much time in the last, in the last 10 years of Trudeau, importing a lot of people that we shouldn't have, and now, unfortunately, we're suffering for it. And we need ways to deal with these people. So it's like,
yeah. I mean, yeah, like there's goods and bads about having immigrants come into the country. And everyone says
there's lots of positive. Don't get me wrong. I'm not anti-immigrant. I'm just saying the fact you're letting so many people in through so many loopholes without giving them proper security checks, proper clearances, all that stuff, that's problematic. You can't just open the floodgates and say, come on in and pretend you're a student and then stay for the next 10 years. Listen, probably 80% of immigrants that come in are probably wonderful people that are looking to just make a better life for their family. Yep. But it's that last 20% that fucking make a bad name for the rest of them, and you need to deal with that bullshit.
Yeah, and I'm of the volition that the amount of taxes that you're going to pull in from an immigrant is going to outweigh the amount of supports they need at the beginning of their stay.
Totally,
Yeah,
totally will.
long
That's
term.
the case in the U.S. Look how much their economy is suffering now that they did all those deportations. How many of those immigrants were paying taxes and were not getting, because they make the process so hard for those people to become citizens. They were in there paying taxes, but they weren't getting any benefits for them. So they're basically just being robbed by the U.S. government and then stuck in the court.
And they're okay with it.
And I'm also wondering, hey, how come no white people want to fucking pick strawberries in the field for fucking 35 cents an hour?
Yeah, and the ones that, the ones that have the patience to go through the bureaucracy to become American citizens because they want to live there, they want to raise their families there, they want to make something for themselves and their kids. They go to their hearings and stuff. So many accounts of ICE agents arresting these people at their actual hearings. Yeah. Just wait. Just sitting out the door. Yeah. And you paddy wagon.
I mean, ICE is a criminal. ICE is basically the SS of Trump at this point.
And the only quote unquote crime they're committing is that their visa became expired because the bureaucracy held them up for so fucking long in most cases.
Yep.
So it's a racist fucking institution that uses them basically as slave labor and then boots them out of the country.
Because they're a wonderful scapegoat. If you can't scapegoat trans people, then you scapegoat the immigrants. As they're eating cats, they're eating dogs, as opposed to, hey, maybe it's billionaires that we should fucking kick out of the country.
Yeah.
No. Don't kick them out. Tax them. They'll leave on their own.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. How about they just pay reasonable taxes? They will still have more money than any of us combined will have in our entire lives. But
most people can't conceptualize in their heads how much money $1 billion actually is.
Yeah, and then you got some of these people that are have multiples. You got one guy who supposedly has $1 trillion, even though he doesn't actually have the money. He's just worth that much money.
Yeah, but nobody needs $1 billion.
No, it's I feel at some point they should just say, once you reach a certain thing. Now, there is the caveat of, at some point you want really rich people to reinvest into society. So I can understand that caveat of them continuing to make money. But I feel at some point, once your net worth is past a certain point, they should say, here's your trophy. You've defeated capitalism. Congratulations. Now we're going to, anything more than you make than this, we're going to redistribute into society. Because you literally you literally need companies to make products for you to buy, because there's nothing on earth you can buy. So you have to invest in rocket ships and fucking fancy yachts that have to be hand built for you, because
yachts that go on.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so ridiculous. The consumerism has not caught up with you, because there aren't enough people with your money that can afford the shit that you can afford. So they can't make a fucking Ferrari car that costs $3 billion, because there'd be two of them sold.
Right.
Yeah. They'd be made out of gold or something, and it's first time
like fucking platinum and fucking powered by plutonium and shit like that.
The other side of that coin is, if you tax the billionaires and the billionaires leave, they take their companies with them.
Well, that's the thing. The government is so compromised now, because corporations have basically become government. We've let capitalism run so rampant over us as a society that we're kind of held hostage by these fucking people, and there has to be a restructuring done, a dramatic restructuring done, probably a violent restructuring done, and whether that happens or not, who knows? But it's going to hit a bubble point at some juncture in life, and we might see it, we might not see it, but I don't think it's going to be too long coming.
I mean, I would have less of a problem with people being unfathomably rich if you didn't have people that were also so unfathomably poor at the bottom end.
Yeah.
And again, Canada's in no way innocent to this either. The fact we got people sleeping on the streets, like, they can build these fucking little houses instead of being like, building public housing and all this bullshit. Build these little fucking public houses, set them up in like little trailer parks or whatever, and give people something that they can live in, and maybe like something to strive towards and say, okay, we'll cover you, you get a job, work hard, and then you can work towards your first place. And they do have to work on making affordable housing. And I mean, by affordable housing, I mean, like getting a nice little tiny condo for like 50 grand, not 500,000. There's a big fucking difference between the two. But yeah, there should be ways of even covering, like, every time I go biking, you see tents in the forest, on the paths and stuff. There's dudes living in the field, living in the forest. I'm like, this is Canada. There shouldn't be a dude fucking pitching a tent. I mean, yeah, maybe he's carrying, maybe he's just fucking stealth camping. But I don't think he is. I think he's probably actually living there because I see him every time. So I'm like, okay, like, yeah, this should probably not really be a thing in Canada. Like, we're not a third world country. Like, we should be able to look after our most basic people. And I mean, at least we look after people's basic medical needs, unlike the neighbors to the south, which don't do that either.
Even then, that's slipping because just like in Great Britain, there's so many like private healthcare companies that are trying to weasel in and destroy the public system.
Ford is definitely not happening with that, with helping with that. But
yeah, or in Alberta where they are starting the 2-tier system, right?
Yeah. So.
Again, I mean, I don't necessarily oppose the 2-tier system as long as that it doesn't mean that the lower tier slips, but it seems that's what always happens, the lower tier slips. Like, there should be a basic level of care for everyone. And if you want to do, like, you want to pay extra to get an MRI tomorrow instead of waiting 3 months for it, I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I mean, but, somebody
should be at the cost of everybody else. That's the problem.
Yeah,
I think if you want a 2-tier system, everyone gets the same basic service, but you want extra, not time based, because the people who have stage 4 cancer or stage 3 cancer should get the services before someone that's just I'm just gonna go check my MRI. Yeah. So maybe not have the time based tier system, but you get extra perks like maybe a different waiting room, or maybe coffee and tea, or what I mean, like, or better parking, or
So for instance, my dad had both his knees replaced when he was in his I think 69 and 70. I think that's when he had his knees replaced. Not the years, that was his age when he had them done.
Yeah.
He had the surgery. And he was in the hospital for, I think, about 4 or 5 days. I believe he paid, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was $300 he paid for a private room, and he got a TV in his room. I don't know if you ever seen those hospital TVs. Not a fucking swizzle thing. You got a little TV in front of you. So he paid extra for that. I think it cost about $300 for the week to get the TV because he wanted the TV. He wanted a private room. The surgery he got, exactly the same as the dude down the hall that didn't want to pay for that. The only difference is the dude down the hall was in a room that he had to share with another room. There's curtains, you got your privacy still. But there is another dude in the same room, and maybe he didn't have access to a TV or whatever. Right. That was the only difference between what my dad had and what the guy who couldn't afford the $300 had. When I was in the hospital having my what was it, appendectomy, they didn't even give me that option. And Agnes's insurance actually would have covered, so I could have gotten a private room. And whatever other perks that I could have gotten the VIP treatment. And they're like, well, in this hospital, we don't really have anything. Like, it's like everyone just shares a room. It's like, okay, well, whatever. I still got a private room, like, until like literally the last 3 hours, I got another guy that joined the room. But otherwise it was like, I basically had the private room for like the day and a half I was there. So it's like, I didn't really even complain about it, but it's like, I can understand. Yeah. Pay a little extra for perks and stuff like that. But ultimately the surgery should be the same surgery. It shouldn't be like, okay, we got the top of the line, top of the class guy. He's going to do your surgery, Greg. But the dude that can't afford it, we're going to get the bottom of the line guy who he failed most of his exams, but we kind of squeaked him through. And his arm shakes a lot when he has a scalpel in it, but I think he's okay.
I actually crazy thing. I actually have audio of when Greg discovered that another person was going to share the room with him. in the hospital. So I'll just play that right now.
Who's this little fucking freak at the door? You cool? What's up, guys? You guys cool? You guys hanging? Going to the dance? What's up, homie?
Yeah, you were a little aggressive with that guy, but
The only thing about the guy in the room, I mean, he mostly slept. He was an older guy. He was there for a hernia surgery. The only thing that was annoying about him is every 2 seconds he was bugging the nurse of when he was going to get his surgery. Now, me having had been there since the day before, I was supposed to get my surgery that afternoon, then that evening. Then they told me it would happen at 2 a.m. Then they're like, no, it's not going to happen. The whole time they wouldn't feed me because it was going to be surgery, which, I mean, they do give you that saline solution, which actually makes you surprisingly not hungry. But I still kind of wanted to eat. So finally at like 11 o'clock, they're like, oh, yeah, well, we can't give you surgery today. It's going to be tomorrow. So because the thing is, like, mine was like a non-emergency surgery. So basically they fit you in, but as soon as somebody comes in with a gunshot wound, well, that person goes in before you, and that same surgeon that would have worked on you is now working on saving his life, right? So you get bumped back. So I only got bumped back till 9 o'clock the next day. I mean, it was a terrible fucking night. I hated it, but otherwise, whatever. In the long run, I can't really complain that much. And it was nice. 11 o'clock, I got to eat some food. So the nurse brought me all this food. She's like, oh, the sandwiches aren't very good. I'm like, I don't care. I'm hungry. Bring them to me. Bring me all the sandwiches.
I didn't ask for good. I just asked for edible.
So you know what's funny? My appendectomy, same thing. Like I went in and I went in on a 8 p.m. just after supper or whatever. They said, yeah, you have a burst appendix. We're going to get you a room and we'll do it tonight at 11. Okay, whatever, right? I'm like, okay, whatever. 24 hours later, still hadn't had done.
Oh, wow.
And no, they hadn't, given me food because you're going to go in for surgery. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had it done at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
So you were worse than, well, I went in at 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. on Saturday. So 2 a.m. Saturday, so Saturday morning, very early. By the time all the tests and shit were done, they figured out what was wrong with me. It was like 6 or 7 a.m. Actually, maybe it was later. Maybe it was like 8 or 9. I can't remember. So they're like, we got to get you into surgery. I mean, it was either that or antibiotics. They basically talked me into the antibiotics because apparently it's not very good at treating the burst appendix. They're like, yeah, it'll probably come back in like 3 months or something. You'll be here again. I'm like, okay. Like, honestly, this is the worst. Like, this was probably one of the worst pains I had in my life for several hours before I went to the hospital. So I was like, okay, I don't want to go through this again. Let's get it over with. Okay, fine. Plus, they were like, we're gonna have to keep you for 3 days in antibiotics to make sure your appendix doesn't burst. Otherwise, you're gonna be out of here in like 6 hours if we just do the operation. I'm like, okay, I want to go home. I don't want to be here anymore. Then the operation didn't happen that night. It was supposed to happen Saturday night. Ultimately, ended up happening Sunday morning at 9 a.m. By the time I woke up and went back to recovery, it was like 11 a.m. And I think I was out by like 2 o'clock, something like that. They were basically like, did you pee? Yeah. Did you poop? Kind of. Are you farting? Yep. All right, you can go. It's like, all right, great.
So for me, like I said, mine was like a Thursday at like 8 p.m. I went in and, whatever, 24 hours sitting in there. So it's Friday at like 8 p.m. Still haven't had my surgery. Saturday at 2 a.m. is when I had my surgery. My lungs had collapsed during surgery. This was when I was fat, Scott. So,
Jesus Christ.
So my lungs had collapsed, and so I was in there for 5 more days.
Wow. Okay. So obviously your surgery did not go according to plan.
No. And they wouldn't tell Mallory. They wouldn't tell her what was going on. Like, I was in there. I was in for 3 hours. I was in surgery for 3 hours. And it's supposed to be like a 45-minute surgery.
Yeah. Did your appendix actually burst, though, or was it just inflamed?
Inflamed.
Okay. So it was the same. And did they do the orthoscopic surgery, or did they actually chop you open?
Chop me open.
Oh, how long ago was this? Because I didn't think they chopped you open that often anymore.
Well, they do to train new surgeons, and that's what I got. I got a trainee.
You got to be the test monkey.
I'd be like, fuck no! Give me the like tiny like I got the tiny incisions. Like, yeah, like you can like that's literally one of my incisions right there. So the other one they put my belly button. You can't see that one. The other one they put basically just above where the pubes start. So like, yeah. Yeah, you got a full fucking scar, I'm imagining. I can't really see it there, but oh yeah, they gave you a full fucking scar, yeah. Like the other ones, like they basically did with me, they did 3 incisions: belly button, the one you just saw, and then one right above my pubes. And the 2 other ones you can't see. The one I showed you, that's the only one you can still see nowadays. So it's like, okay, I can live with this.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No,
like one of the dudes I hang out by the pool sometime. He got the old school appendectomy like 20 years ago, and yeah, he has a huge fucking scar on the side of his stomach. It's ridiculous.
So it's kind of odd now because now I have to shoot myself with Ozempic. I have to avoid that whole area because it won't go through.
Oh, because of the scar tissue.
Right. So I actually have to avoid that whole. So I'm like, I'm trying to find room over here and over this side. So yeah. No, I was a test guinea pig. But
I'm like, fuck no, I want your most advanced surgeon.
But they need to do these things for people to, and they said, and here's how they sold it to me. They're like, if we do it microscopic, 5 days, you'll be back to work. I said, okay. If we do it the long way, 2 full weeks, and then maybe another 2 weeks after that. I'm like, you mean I get 2 weeks off work? And then when I went back to work, my doctor wrote a note, you can't lift anything for 30 pounds, or over 30 pounds for like a month or whatever, right? And I was managing a help desk guy when I was working there. And every time I needed to move a computer or do anything, I'm like, oh, Joel, come here.
Yep, nice.
Anyway, at the end of the day, I survived. At the end of the day, it's a scar. It's a story. Who the fuck cares if I'm gay or not?
Yeah, no one. I've never had any real surgery in my life.
My appendectomy was my first and only, so I'm hoping. Really? Yeah, so I would prefer not to have any others. I mean, it was a fine process. I mean, like I say, I mean, if you're gonna have a surgery, an appendectomy is a pretty good one to have. Like, the recovery was almost nothing. Like, literally, I went in for a month after I felt 100%. They're like, yeah, stay off the bike for another month. I'm like, really? Because I feel great. They're like, yeah, you could rupture something inside of you. I'm like, all right, I won't do it. So I followed doctor's orders. But like, I felt like 100%. I'm just like, I could fucking do jumping jacks all day and I'd be fine. But
so I've had 8 surgeries.
Oh wow!
Because of my local anesthetic problem.
Ah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No.
So, of the 8 surgeries, 6 of them? No, more than 8. No, 8. I've had 8. So 6 of them are because of dental, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 1 appendectomy, and then 1 cyst. And you'd think a cyst for a surgery? But they freeze it for you, right? And then they cut it open and they drain it. And so I went in for this cyst, and I'm like, man, this is like super painful. It's like right on a joint, or right on a piece of my skin that bends a lot.
Mm-hmm. Was it on your taint, Scott?
No, not on my taint. Anyway, so I go in, and this intern or whatever, he's like, not a full doctor. He says, okay, we're going to cut it open and we're going to drain it. I said, cool. They're like, okay, we're going to freeze it first. I'm like, oh, can't do that. They're like, what do you mean we can't do that? I'm like, I'm deathly allergic to local anesthetic. They're like, okay, so how do you want to proceed? I'm like, do it. He's like, what?
Don't kill me.
I'm like, just cut it open and drain it. It's going to be 5 minutes. I'm going to be in and out of here in 5 minutes. He's like, yeah, but it's going to be painful. I'm like, for 5 minutes, right? Like,
yeah, just don't sew one of your gloves into me when you sew me up there, Dr. Nick.
Right? So anyway, so they're like, here's a pillow. I said, okay, good. I'm going to scream into it. He's like, what do you mean? You're cutting me open with a scalpel, right? Anyway, he starts cutting me open, and I start like, I'm just trying to not move, right? And he says, okay. He stops, and he says, okay. I'm like, are you done? Great. He's like, no, I'm only halfway there. I'm like, okay. Keep going. He's like, I can't take this anymore. I'm like, what can't
you can't take this?
Yeah, you can't take this anymore? Yeah, I can't take this anymore. We're going to have to put you out. I'm like, so now, I get put out. I'm groggy. I have to take a whole days off of school and work. Like, come on, just for 2.5 more minutes, just keep going. And I'm walking out of here.
You got pretty good pain tolerance, I got to say, because I don't think I'd want them to cut me open while I've got some pain tolerance, but I don't think I'd want them to cut out a cyst when I'm fucking awake.
I've had dental work without freezing. Like,
yeah, that could probably be fucking not fun either. Because dental pain can be fucking brutal.
Yeah, but I mean, I just grip onto the chair and hold on tight.
Oh.
Yep.
So I mean, like with an appendectomy, it's funny because it's like, well, at least the what I got, yours is a little bit more intensive. That required more of a recovery. Mine is like the actual surgery site, no big deal. The things they don't really tell you is like, oh, the day after your surgery, your chest is killing you. Oh, it's because they pump a bunch of air into you to inflate your chest, so it makes it easier for them to stick the cameras in and see everything. Oh, my throat is killing me. It's because they intubate you.
Mm-hmm.
Your eyes also, like my eyes all burst open, like we're like completely bloodshot and red. It's like, oh yeah, that's totally normal. Like your eyes, I forget what the reason is, but your eyes all become bloodshot. It's like, okay, these are all things I didn't expect. The actual surgery things, that shit didn't bother me at all. Like, I mean, other than just kind of keeping it dry for the first few days while showering and stuff like that. I was like, they're just like, yeah, whenever the bandages fall off, it's fine. It's like everything's basically waterproof anyway. It's like, okay.
Yeah, and yeah, I was intubated and all that stuff too, all the same things. Except when they intubated me, my lungs had collapsed at the same time. So,
well, that's not a good thing. Was that just a freak accident, or was there like a specific like reason? Like, was it like a health reason or something that happened, or was it just
most likely they gave me too much general anesthetic.
Okay, so it was a they fucked up reason. It wasn't a Scott has diabetes reason or something like that.
Most likely, they're not going to admit that they gave me too much anesthetic.
Well, of course, yeah. So they're not going to admit fault because you're going to sue them.
If your body is so relaxed, right? It's just so relaxed, it'll collapse your lungs or whatever, right? Because it's just I'm not going to fucking work anymore, right? So
yeah,
but I was like, yes, my throat was sore, and yes, I was intubated, and same thing with you, bloodshot eyes and da-da-da-da-da. But I had oxygen for 3 days,
Yeah. Well, yeah, you had to be left. Me, they're basically like, are you able to fart? Okay, great, you can leave. Right. Like, when the surgeon comes in, he's like, are you ready to leave? I'm like, I don't know. You tell me if I'm ready to leave.
You're the doctor.
Like I don't want to be here. That was the only thing that was annoying about my neighbor who was there. It was just, he got there like right around the time I was coming out of surgery. So he got there around noon. And then, for the couple hours I was there, maybe I was there for 2 or 3 hours. Every 15 minutes, that dude was like, yeah, my surgery was scheduled for 12. What's happening? And the nurse come in. It's like, yeah, somebody came in who's instead, they got shot a bunch of times. So we need to do it first. But I had my surgery scheduled. It was like an older guy too, so he was kind of like grumpy. Like he was like, my surgery was scheduled. What's taking? He's like, yeah, no, we're gonna get you in as soon as we can. Don't worry, sir. He's like, but my surgery was scheduled. And like every fucking 15 minutes, it's like I swear this dude would have a nap, and then 15 minutes, wake up, ring the nurse again, and ask, well, where's the surgery happen? I'm like, dude, like it's an elective surgery for your hernia. It's not life and death. They will get to you when they get to you. And I understand being frustrated, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, dude, leave the nurse alone. She's literally the messenger. Like, she is not. Yeah, like believe me, if she could cut you open and get you on your way, she would. But that is not part of her job description.
Yeah. Just,
I will say, my goodness, the nurses they had there were such fucking hotties. Like it was just ridiculous. I'm like, can any of you give me a sponge bath? We don't. You're not. It's not required for an appendectomy.
Yeah, you're not in an old folks home. That's
Yeah. Well, I wasn't sure if they were gonna have to like catheter me or anything, but they didn't for that surgery. But I was like, I hope you don't have to stick anything up my pee hole because this can get real awkward real quickly.
Yeah, most of the times my nurses have been old cranks, right? Yeah.
No, I had basically I had two nurses. I had one nurse that started, but she's like, I'm not your regular nurse. I'm just kind of here because your other nurse isn't available, blah, blah, blah. She was kind of like a short hottie. And then I had like a tall, skinnier hottie was my main nurse. And then there was an Indian hottie who came in at night. And again, the Indian hottie, the only thing with her is she was like so stupid when you tried to talk to her. Like you asked her any question, she didn't give you a proper answer. Like she'd like completely skirt around any question you asked her. So that drove me nuts. But anytime she had to do anything, like she had to change like my fucking IV thing because it was annoying me. So she put it here. I'm just like, how do you do that so fucking like? I didn't even fucking feel you put the needle in. Like you did that so fucking amazingly. I'm like, so it's like you're technically very good, but I just don't want to talk to you because you're annoying.
Wow.
But she was good. She's good at her job.
She was very good at her job. She was just really bad at answering questions. You asked her fucking anything, and she fucking skirted around the issue. Like, asking her like, "Oh, do you guys have food here?" No, we don't have food. We just have sandwiches. I'm like, that's food. Yeah, it's not real food though. I don't care. I haven't eaten in 24 hours. I'll take it. Like, don't be fucking like, don't get fucking technical with me on this stupid shit. Like,
yeah.
I'll take your ham sandwich. God damn it!
I don't need your review of what's in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
And there's the benefit for the rich people. You don't get the regular cafeteria food. You get, the premium food.
Yeah, well, as far as I'm aware, in this hospital, it wasn't a thing. I mean, listen, the hospital food was fine. It was nothing special. I wouldn't go to a 5-star restaurant and expect this food, but it was fine. Like, it was like good enough.
You had your surgery at the Dollar General hospital.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But I mean, like, you get the same regular food as everybody else. But if you were a millionaire and you paid a little bit more, maybe you're gonna get like really nice
you get
teriyaki, or
You'd be like,
I mean,
can I get access to a phone, please, so I can call?
Well, the thing is, I mean,
the doggy bag from the local
if there
restaurant.
were, so at this hospital, or at least for whatever surgery I was qualified for, there was no extras to add to it. Like, because I even said, like, if I can get a private room or extras, my health plan will cover it. They're like, no, we don't do any of that. It's just everyone gets the same thing. It doesn't matter what. So it's like, okay, so whatever. Like, and again, it wasn't a big deal, but if my health plan covers it and they'll say, hey, you can get this if your health plan wants to pay for it, I'll be like, fuck yeah, I'll get them to pay for it. Why not?
See here, chap. I'm not accustomed to this plebeian slop that is being offered to me on the menu. Perhaps you could get me a phone access so I can call the local French restaurant, please.
Right.
No, I notice you're in a proper nurse's attire. How much extra would I have to pay for you being like a Halloween sexy nurse's outfit? Like, how much extra would that cost?
If I floated a few extra $100 your way, could you perhaps inquire and see if any of the local strip clubs have any nurses in training working the pools, please?
Nurses in training.
Yes.
I mean, you go to strip clubs and you find out, what do you, this isn't your real job. What do you do? Oh, I'm a student.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an engineer. I just make more money doing this.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, they're just making money while they're in school. But
yeah, but she's making, she's paying her way through medical school or whatever. So it's like, Hey,
I mean, the
you know, she
smart
does.
ones do. The
She
smart
does.
ones do. The dumb ones put it all up their nose and don't end up any better. But
Yeah. Well,
I
I mean,
mean, frankly, stripping to me is a lot smarter than OnlyFans because you do an OnlyFans and people have pictures of your asshole on the internet for the rest of your life. Doesn't matter what you become. Whereas strip club, it's shady in there. Nobody even remembers what you look like.
true.
Yeah, the darkness hides your features, right?
And
Yeah.
it depends on what you want to do, right? Like if you're a sex worker and you're not ashamed of any of that, and you make your quote unquote nut doing OnlyFans and all that shit, and then you quit that and take an early retirement or whatever, and you have no problem with your asshole being online for the rest of your life, then more power to you. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of people who like the only choice is to do sex work to make money, and that's not what they want to do, but it's something they can do while they're trying to like better themselves. And whether they get out of that situation and actually better themselves, that's a whole other question, because stripping, just like other sex work, should be regulated, and it not always is. And yeah,
So are you considering stripping sex work?
it is sex work.
But
I think anything where you're selling sex, even if it's not actual intercourse sex, I think it comes off as sex work.
Yeah.
Whether that's on the internet or in person, I think it is
anything from phone sex to straight up fucking a dude in a hotel room is sex work, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with that, right?
No.
Like, you got to make your money. You got to make your money. I'm not gonna judge or whatever.
It
right?
just it should be regulated for both for the safety of the performers, and also just because it's lucrative. You could tax the fuck out of that shit and just add more to the economy, because it's a service everyone needs.
They do it in the Netherlands, don't they?
I would
Is
not
the
be surprised.
Yeah.
Isn't it Amsterdam has it, right?
Amsterdam. Yeah.
Yeah. Although I think they've been cracking down on a lot of stuff in Amsterdam the last few years, from what I've heard here and there.
But yeah, they have regular tests. They have free medical, not free, free medical for these sex workers, right? You as a John or someone who's who uses the services, you need to prove that you have had your various tests and stuff like that, and you still need to wear the proper protections.
Yeah.
So I mean, like,
proper protections,
heavily regulated, and in a case of taxation, sure.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, tax the shit out of it.
Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, you want to get something for your tax money, right? Like, okay, cool, I'm paying taxes, but I'm getting free medical care on the other side, right? I'm getting
it's got to be there's got to be a benefit, and there's got to be protection for the workers, because if that's not the case, then no kidding that a lot of them are not going to want to go for it. They're going to continue to, like, hey, if I do this on my OnlyFans this month, I'm going to make 3 times what I usually make. So that's my biggest concern, is to make that money.
Yeah. You got to make it affordable for someone to do that. Like, just like the weed, right? Like, just like the cannabis stuff, right?
Yeah.
In Canada, hey, guess what? It's cheaper and easier to go down to the government-approved cannabis shop and pick up your weed than it is to get Joe from down the street to grow it and bring it into you, and you don't know if you're going to get shot because of it, right?
Yeah.
In the government shots, you're getting fucked. You know it when you walk in the door.
Yeah.
So, I'd rather know when I walk in the door that I'm getting fucked than shit. I buy this shit.
Well, also listen, if you want to go by sex work being work, and I mean I believe it is, then you know what? Sex people, regardless of your choice of sex work, should be taxed, and let it be taxed. Why not? If everyone else gets taxed, why not? When you pay it, when John pays you, let him swipe the stripe through your credit card reader and pay taxes on it.
But you're right in saying, there's got to be a benefit, because if there's no benefit, you're just paying taxes. No one, it's all work under the table, right?
Well, it should be like, there should be some degree of safety benefit. I mean, don't get me wrong, I haven't thought about this whole thing. There should be some degree of safety benefit. You have to, there should be some, in order to use the service, you get tested. In order to provide the service, you get tested. Any kind of pimps or anything should just be taken right out of the equation.
Well, there would be no pimps. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Well, there would still, there'd always be ones that try.
I mean,
you just have to offer some protection for it, but
there would be somebody in the legal sense that would probably be like take the place of what a pimp used to be.
Well,
even just
even just basic pimps would still try to keep control of these ladies.
There would still be black market sex work, no doubt.
Yeah.
But it would cut it down so much that the net benefit of it, protecting women overall and bettering society, would be worth doing.
And there's still black market weed, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's always going to be, like, people who are against these sort of things. They always bring up, they bring it up on a like a black and white basis, like either or, and then it's just not the reality of the situation. There's always going to be someone who slips through the cracks. It's like the same argument with, like, oh, well, vaccinations don't save everybody. No kidding, they don't save everybody, but they save more people, and that's the whole point.
Yeah, they save more people than they hurt.
Yeah,
100%.
And yes, somebody will occasionally have a fucking reaction to it, and unfortunately may even die. And that sucks. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that that's a fucking awful thing. There's nothing worse than somebody going in, hey, I'm getting a vaccine for COVID. I'm so excited. Then you fucking die from it. And some people did die from it. This is true. But you know what? More people died from COVID.
Not having it. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, more people die from not getting the vaccinations and the required stuff than people who do and die because of it, right?
Yeah. So it's always nothing's perfect, but I always sit on the side of, let's do what's going to be better for more people. What's the net positive? What's the bigger positive? What's the better outcome? Nothing's perfect. Life's not perfect. Life's not fair. But let's try to make it as fair and humane as possible for everybody involved.
And it's funny, the people who are against vaccines cherry pick these edge cases so that they prove their point, right? Which they completely ignore the majority of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what they do.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and just do some critical thinking. A friend of mine the other day, it's funny. So in our local town, the federal government, the provincial government, and the municipality is going to build a new sports complex, and it's just going to attach it to the sports complex that they currently have, right? And 2 new rinks, meeting rooms, all this stuff, right? That they're going to put in. Great, it's a couple million or $30 million from the government, $20 million from the provincial, 15 from the thing, and they're saying, oh, we're going to use local steel and local workers and local, you know what I mean, drive the economy up. Okay, so my friend goes, oh shit, why are you spending $30 million here when you could be using that $30 million for feeding the population and housing the homeless? And I turned around and said, but you understand that they've put money into the GST to give you more money back.
Yeah.
Right. And he's, and you understand that, they're investing in homeless places and drug
rehabilitation and
whatever. Right.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Right. And he's like, oh no, that's small drop in the bucket. I'm like, what do you expect from our government? Do you expect the government to pay for everything all the time and be completely, everyone gets a free ride? Of course not. Of course not. People are going to take advantage of that.
that drop in the bucket is a drop that wasn't there before, bitch. Like,
right. And then, these they don't understand these type of people. And he's my friend, and he's still my friend, right? Because just because I have a different view doesn't mean he's not my friend. But they don't understand. Hey, sports and meeting places and all these recreational zones make a difference in people's lives, right? Like, it's a net positive in a long term thing, right? Parks, making parks, all net positives. And
those things, like I mean, I can't even recognize that, and I'm a person who would like personally have no use for any of those things. But right. I do recognize that having those things in a community makes a community more productive, safer, and happier.
Stronger, makes it more stronger, more connected. When shit goes down, when shit happens, bad shit happens, the community comes together, whether it's at that place or whatever. So say there's a big, tornado or a big natural disaster, right? Then you have a community center that's open for people to go to, right? You may not use that in its traditional sense, but if something were to happen, if your local area gets flooded or natural disaster, you have the ability to go to that center and get food, get water, and get shelter if you need it, or power, or whatever. You have that ability. If you didn't have that center, you would not have that ability. You would be, stuck, right? So there's benefits, even though you're not using it as its traditional center. It's still a place to gather and get resources.
It's the same argument with paying into healthcare every month on your income and all that shit. You might not use your health care. You might be one of the healthiest motherfuckers in the world, and you don't use your health care until end of life. That's what it's there for. But until then, it's helping other people. And honestly, it's going to cost you a lot less to pay into that for your entire life than to have a private system where you have to pay out your fucking asshole, and it might ruin your life.
Or something like education. Sorry, Scott, I'll just say quickly, something like education is the same thing. Neither Lee and I have children, but I think we can probably both agree there's probably it's good for society for there to be a minimum level of education for children and young adults, so that we don't, because we know when education is not part of society, usually bad things happen for society in general.
Yeah,
so
we get a bunch of Chris Peters running around.
Well, yeah, exactly. So I would rather pay to have a good education for other people's children for the betterment of society overall.
Yeah, because I don't want to have to slap your fucking kid around.
Right. So exactly. So both of you guys, you don't have children, whatever, it's cool. But you pay into the system where you guys technically, maybe not directly, but indirectly, pay for my child's education, right? Mm-hmm. And, if my child isn't properly educated and isn't properly looked after and they become a burden on society. Now, times that by across the country, right? They all become burdens of society instead of educated, tax-paying individuals. They all become
members.
Right.
Also, Scott, your daughter, maybe she's going to get educated. Maybe she's going to go on to become a heart surgeon, and she's going to save my fucking ass 20 years from now when I need open heart surgery. She's going to be there to fucking put my heart back together.
Right. But, if you didn't pay your taxes or your portion of taxes that would look into educating the masses, these people wouldn't have the benefits, right? Mm-hmm. So, people say, "Oh, hey, why am I paying taxes for your kid to go to school?" Well, it's because of all these things that we just talked about. Right?
It's because for the betterment of society. I mean, we've already seen what the fuck teenagers do when they're fucking bored nowadays. All they do is they cause shit. So, it's like, get them into fucking, yes, get them into extracurricular programs, get them educated,
So, example, let's circle back here. We've just invested 30 million plus 20 million plus 15 million into 2 new hockey rinks and other centers in St. John. And if your kid didn't have this, what kind of trouble are they getting into, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead, now they're going to, these centers. They're going to either play hockey or do figure skating or whatever, right? Or hang out or whatever, right? And not get into this trouble that they would get into normally.
Exactly. They don't do that. They put on leather jackets. They go down to the barber shop, or they hang outside the malt shop, and they start snapping their fingers. They start dancing, and they start harassing old people and starting trouble.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about like those British cod pieces they put on to, for that clockwork or those hoodlums on.
We're talking about West Side Story, brother.
Oh, yeah, West Side Story. Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought there was a clockwork
Sharks and the Jets.
Yeah.
Good one. Yeah. That was good, Mr. Lee. I like that one. So how did this wang out turn into philosophical?
When we don't have mean Uncle Nick forcing us to talk about collective arts, we solve society's problems.
Yeah. And also, not to pick on Nick, because I feel like we're picking on him a little too much here. But
is there such thing?
With his attention deficit things going on, sometimes it's like the conversation just gets into everybody talking over everybody because he doesn't listen to what other people are saying and he just starts talking. And so, sometimes it doesn't make for a conducive discussion at all. Whereas all of us were like trying actively not to talk over each other the entire time and actually like listening to each other and like, oh, now I can interject,
Oh, so if Nick's not here, we're respectful of each other is what you're saying.
Hold on. And let's level set here, right? Nick's at a certain level, but we know other people that like to talk over and interject and just take over the conversation.
Oh well, I mean that guy,
that's a whole nother level.
Well, yes, but he's got a touch of the tism, as they say.
Yeah.
So does Nick.
And to be fair, Kerry has leveled out massively over the years. Like, I remember when he was so annoying that I almost nearly killed him with my words, telling him to shut up. So, I mean...
Yeah, I just remember him getting really angry and screaming a lot.
Yeah. But he used to, he had no modulation, but he learned modulation over the years.
He improved until some asshole insulted his camping oh my god, hobbit. My god, I can't speak English right now. His hobby. Somebody insulted his camping hobby, and apparently that just threw him over the edge.
Yeah.
All right, should I have another drink?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I'm going to grab another one.
Oh, I can have another one.
You're going to be for another 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
I got to pee first, then I'll grab something else. So, yeah, everyone. Oh, well, no one's here. Goodbye, everyone.
And no hold music too, right? So we all just fucked right off, and no one's here to remember. This is online. There's we're live, and 2 hours and 49 minutes. So if you're at this point in the conversation, if you're watching at this point, good on you. Good on you. Now you're going to watch me eat vanilla pound cake. Delicious. I got it on sale. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think Greg can still hear me too.
I can still hear you because I bring my headphones into the bathroom with me. So I was peeing and still listening to Scott.
Mm-hmm.
I think my next beer is going to be a 6% Mountain View Stout.
A Mountain Dew? Okay.
Mountain View.
Get around
Not
that.
not really too many mountains in Ontario. We're not a particularly mountainous province, but there are some mountain-y terrain around where this brewery is located. So, but again, there's an Alberta brewery, so it's possible that this was actually a beer that was named after some Alberta mountains. We know we got more mountains in Alberta.
How close are you to the nearest downhill skiing place?
So the closest would be just north of Barrie, so about an hour-ish north of us would be. Okay, well, Kelso and Milton, I think, has some degree of skiing. It's not known for its skiing. That's where I actually mountain bike in the summer. And I do believe they have skiing in the winter. So that's only about 40 minutes away. So that would actually be the closest. But the real good skiing would be in kind of the Mount St. Louis area, sort of above Barrie. So that's about an hour 15-ish away. So yeah, that's like Horseshoe Valley where I go to, which again, about an hour 15, hour 30, depending on traffic, which usually is not that great going up there. That's so they do downhill mountain biking in the summer, but in the winter they do skiing. So that's a fairly popular skiing destination. So, So an hour is generally an hour to an hour and a half is my final answer. But again, you're not going to have skiing compared to something like fucking Alberta or BC or anything like that. It's just we don't have the geography for that.
Or the balls.
I mean, you're not wrong.
In the province of New Brunswick, there is 4 ski hills. Yeah, 4 ski hills, right? 2 in the north and 2 in the south.
Okay.
And then there's Crab Mountain Crab Mountain's Fredericton. And there's one in Nova Scotia I know of.
Martok.
Yeah, is there just the one though?
It's the only one I know about. I don't know skiing. I don't do skiing. So Martok's the only one I ever hear about. So I'm sure there's probably something else.
So if you and Nick decide on a cold day to grab your skis, grab your probably ski lycra, and decide to go out, how long would you guys have to travel to go to a nice ski destination?
40 minutes.
That's not too bad.
In Sussex. So where my trailer is there's a ski resort.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we got I'm seeing quite a shit ton of actual ski lodges in Nova Scotia, apparently. I'm just looking at a Google map that's giving me like prices. And we got a fuck ton of ski lodges in Nova Scotia, apparently.
Really?
And you got more in New Brunswick than you think.
I only know of 4.
Yeah, you got about looks like you got about 10.
10? Where the fuck are they?
Some of them I think are situated around the same mountain, probably. But yeah.
Share your screen.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Yeah. Okay.
Scott wants to fact check you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that.
Share screen. And we want.
I mean, out of the three of us, I'm probably the one that's downhill skied the most.
Yeah, I've always downhill skied maybe 3 times in my life, and I didn't like it very much. I prefer snowboarding to downhill skiing because when I fall, there's only one board to find as opposed to four
no, is
different
this-
things for skiing.
Oh no, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is why is this giving me? I said ski lodges. No
Go downhill ski
downhill
because
skill.
you have like cross country skis too, right? I know there's a
Downhill
shit ton of those too.
No properties. It's downhill ski. What?
Let's go to our good old AI.
Oh, AI.
What are the downhill ski locations in New Brunswick, Canada? New Brunswick has 4 main downhill ski resorts: Crab, Poley, Farlang, Sugarloaf. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, let me see here. Best Nova Scotia ski lodges. God, why are you giving me stuff I don't need? You got no. I asked for Nova Scotia, and you're giving me like fucking other fucking provinces. This is annoying.
Fucking bad.
So there's 4 in Nova Scotia as well.
Okay.
Martok.
Yeah.
Wentworth. Ski Wentworth.
Okay, I've heard Ski Wentworth. Yeah.
Cape Smoky on Cape Breton Island.
Okay.
And Ben Elon on Cape Breton Island.
All right. I stand corrected. I asked for ski lodges, and it gave me every fucking motel and hotel in Nova Scotia instead. So.
Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn.
Mm.
Yeah.
Fuck you, computer.
So in New Brunswick, I've only been to 2 of the 4 ski resorts, Poley Mountain and Atholville, and I've driven by Crab and I've driven by Edmundston. Like the highway is right there. Like when you're going, to Ontario, you're going right past the ski resort in Edmundston. And I've been to Mount Tremblant. I took a university trip to Mount Tremblant, and I went with a couple of engineers. And so I get on the bus, and I'm like, "All right, boys, are we going to do some skiing?" They're like, "No." What do you mean? No?
Some skiing.
What are you going to Mount Tremblant for? If you're not going to go skiing? Oh, we're going to drink.
Well,
Hold on. When are you going to drink at Mount Tremblant? They're like, well, in the evenings. Great. What are you going to do during the day? Oh, we're going to do our engineering homework. I'm like, fuck that. I'm going skiing.
I thought they were going to give a cool answer like, oh, we saw Ski School 1 and Ski School 2 on VHS back in the 90s. We're going to hang out and party with babes all day.
We saw Hot Dog the movie. Oh, which was the one with the ski resort? I can't remember.
Yeah, that was Hot Dog.
I mean, these are like computer engineers, right? So they're not like.
Well, if they saw those movies, they know the nerd eventually gets laid. It just takes a while.
Yeah.
But the people like we were with, they were all the cool kids, right? Whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's us, nerdy folks. And I'm like, look, boys, I'm going skiing because that's what I'm paying for. That's what I'm paying for, right? I'm gonna fucking go skiing. I'm gonna take the bus. I'm gonna go skiing. And so I would get up early in the morning and go skiing, and they would still be sleeping. And they'd get up at noon and walk the Mount Tremblant town or whatever, and go get lunch / breakfast, and come back and do some homework. And I'd show up at 6, 7, 8 o'clock, come back in, take a hot shower. I'm like, okay, boys, let's go drinking. I did the same drinking that they did, but I went skiing.
Yeah.
On top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, sounds like they need to go somewhere else.
You could drink at home for a lot cheaper. Right?
Yeah.
So I bought. So here's
but with the beautiful chalet scenery.
See, what I would do is if I was, instead of going to some fucking ski lodge, because I'm not going to be skiing, if I just wanted to drink, I'd get a motel in Halifax and then I'd do a pub crawl.
Ah.
Right? So and they advertised. This was put on by the Alpine Club or whatever, right? Like, the Moosehead Alpine Club. And they advertised like pub crawls in Mount Tremblant. Like, don't get me wrong, like evenings they were full of stuff to do too, right? But yeah. So I'll tell you another story. So I brought 2 duffel bags onto the bus, right? We left from the campus, and at 7 o'clock. We left from the campus at like 8 o'clock in the morning. I show up at like 7, right? I think my parents dropped me off or something like that. Someone dropped me off. So anyway, I show up with 2 duffel bags. In one duffel bag is my clothes. In the second duffel bag is my beer. But I didn't know at this time that you could drink on the bus. So I'm like, I'm gonna take this beer and I'm gonna bring it on the bus and I'm just gonna, right? So I get there at 7. I'm the first one there. So I get on the bus and I'm like, where the fuck? I'm not gonna sit up front like a nerd. Nerd. So I go to the back of the bus and I stow my stuff and whatever, right? So, and the bus fills up and my nerd friends sit in the back of the bus with me. All right, cool. And so I said, boys, I brought some beer. And they said, oh, boys, we brought some schnapps. I'm like, oh, whatever, schnapps. But this was the Alpine trip, so I brought Alpine. And so I'm like, all right, cool. So as soon as the bus starts taking off, like, I timed the
with that.
And I'm like this, I'm in the back, and we make the second turn out of the campus, and some guy halfway up the bus says, "That guy's got beer," and he points to me. I'm like, fuck. And then everyone goes and gets their beer. I'm like, oh, fine, okay, all right.
Nice.
We're drinking on the bus. Anyway, the boys with me, we go through my beer. Like, by the time we get to, where did we end up? Woodstock. By the time we hit Woodstock, which is about 3 hours from where we're at, I'm almost out of beer because I've been sharing it with my buds, right? I'm almost out of beer. And so we beg the bus driver to stop on the side of the road so that a whole bunch of us can go take a piss, right? And then by the time we get to Edmundston, which is 4.5 hours from St. John, where one of the ski hills is, everyone's past it. The bus is just the sleep zone, right? It was it was good. It was fun.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Good time had by all.
Good time had by all, except for those engineers who fucking did engineering work during the week.
Well, Scott didn't make any of them pregnant yet.
Yeah.
I mean, you're paying for all this stuff. You're paying for, 5 lift tickets. Why aren't you using it?
That's the thing, yeah. And, you might be in a sex comedy, so you might end up having sex in a gondola with a hot chick,
Next gondola is there, too. Like Mount Tremblant is a 5-star ski resort, right? Nice stuff.
You might run into the snob group who goes, "You losers, we're taking this mountain over. And if you have a problem with it, why don't you have a ski off with us?"
So, I went by myself. Skiing isn't really a team sport anyway. So I'm like, you don't go down together. You meet at the top of the hill and you ski and you meet at the bottom of the hill. And then you ride up together and then you meet at the top and you ski down the bottom. So I'm like, skiing isn't a team sport. So I'm like, fuck, whatever, right? So I go and I do my skiing and I'm trying all the hills. And, I'm a solid black diamond, but not double black or triple black. And I get to the top of the main hill. There's 2 ski lifts. One goes up 3/4 of the way and one goes up all the way. So I we'll go in the gondola and I go to the fucking top of the hill. And there's like a nice, at the time, I'm not sure if it's still there, but I'm sure. Big chalet at the top of the hill. There's like a patio that's like all the way around. You could sit out there and fucking like look for miles. And anyway, so I get up there and I see this black diamond trail. All right, cool. I'll go down the black diamond trail. What I didn't understand is the black diamond trail went this way and then cut off this way. Then we went this way and there was moguls and it's now triple black diamond. And I didn't see the turnoff. So I'm skiing along, blah, 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 blah. Turn the corner, moguls. Not just regular moguls in trees.
Oh.
Yeah, trees and moguls. And I'm trying, and I'm like, fuck this. Click, click, and I take my skis off, and I walk parallel to the next thing, walk through the woods, walk parallel.
Well, sometimes it's a safer way to go.
Right? Because I was going to kill myself coming down, like hitting those moguls, right? I'm like, it's not fun anymore, right? So I did also end up trying snowboarding. That's where I got snowboarding lessons. And I realized I did not like snowboarding.
I prefer on the times I've been, I think I've been skiing 2 or 3 times in my life, and I've been snowboarding 2 or 3 times in my life. So that's my cumulative downhill activity, winter activities in my life, somewhere maybe in the 5 to 6 times range. I prefer snowboarding, but I don't like either one, mainly because I suck at both of them. I fall a lot. When I ski, things fall, and then I have to figure out where my skis went, where my poles went. With the snowboard, it's like, no, the snowboard's still attached to me. That's fine. It's easier recovery. That is solely my purpose for preferring snowboarding.
So there is something in between snowboarding and skiing, and it's called snowblades. Snowblades are short skis.
Yeah, they're like little skis. Yeah, I've never tried them, but they do seem like they might be more up my alley potentially.
And so the goods, you don't have poles. You can get them, but you don't generally have poles for snowblades. So you don't have to go looking for poles. The bad part is if they fly off, they're a lot harder to find because they're not giant skis, right? They're only like, But I remember using snowblades. I played hockey, so I could do crossovers when I do turns. You don't just turn your skis, you actually cross over, right? So when I was doing turns going downhill, I would do crossovers because your skis don't your skis are your snow blades are short enough that you can do crossovers on. And so being a traditional hockey player, doing snow blades is a lot easier on me. What the fuck are you doing, cat? He found a McDonald's bag and he put it on his head.
Oh shit, Uncle Nick has visited.
You just see him on the floor just trying to get into the bag. It's not a big enough bag. It's funny.
Yeah, my cat's in that early phase where he doesn't care if he falls off things and shit because he just, lands on his feet no matter what.
Did you get a new cat?
Yeah. Had him for, how long we had him? Half a year now, I guess, probably. Yeah.
Okay.
And he just, He don't give a fuck. He is the best at being comfortable. I've known cats in my life, but he takes the cake in being the best at being comfortable. Like he's taken it to a new science that I've not studied, and yeah, he has no like situational awareness at all of anything. Like he decides, I'm just going to lay down here, and that could be like on the corner of a table where half of them is laying off this side of the corner and the other half of them's laying off this side of the corner. And if he makes even the slightest move, he's going to fall off the fucking table. But he's decided, no, this is where I'm going to lay down, bro. And of course, he falls off the fucking table. But he lands on his feet and he's like, oh, whatever. It's cool. I'll try it again sometime,
So he gives 0 fucks.
He gives 0 fucks.
And he's pretty young, right? Like I don't know if you know how old he is.
He's
fairly.
I think he's getting close to a year old, but like he's very young and he's full of zoomies. Like whenever he's active, he's just like, I'm jumping on shit. I'm gonna claw this fucking chair. This is my new scratching pose. Deal with it. And I'm gonna do zoomies on the chair. I'm not only gonna claw it, I'm gonna jump on it and scale it like fucking Spider-Man, but with claws. And you got a problem with that, I'll lunge at you. It's okay. But
Yeah,
he is good though. He doesn't scratch. He's actually very like gentle. Like he likes to play, but he doesn't scratch, which is very cool because he's a very jumpy, like dart at you kind of cat and swat at you kind of cat. But he pulls his claws back when he does it. So.
Oh, okay. So he understands play at a very young age.
Yes, he's very smart cat. Like very trained, very well. Like. As soon as we got a litter box for him, he understood, oh, this is where I shit. And that's where he shits. Didn't really have to break him in on anything. So I was pleasantly surprised with that. So I figured, I was like, okay, we're going to have to clean up some pee and poop until he gets accustomed to the litter box. But no, he immediately took to it. So
good. Yeah. And he doesn't shit on the floor or nothing like that, right?
No.
And it's a boy?
Yeah, boy. His name's Boots.
Boots.
So where does Boots sleep at night?
Wherever the fuck he feels like it, honestly. Like half the time he'll here's the thing. He's like an intermittent sleeper. Like he'll sleep a couple hours here and there, but he's not like a necessarily, I sleep all the time, nighttime or anything. Like, but he'll usually sleep with my mother for the most part in her room. But he has the chair out in the living room that he's designated his cat house, his scratching pole. He'll sleep on that a lot. He was sleeping on the sofa for a while. He seems to have gotten tired of that. He found a chair down in the basement, and he's been doing that a lot during the summer because it's cooler down there. So he'll sleep down there a lot. But yeah. But he seems to have no real boundaries, though. He's kind of like, you know what? You open up a room that I've not been in, I'm going to be all over this room, bitch.
The cat has to explore. That's what cats do.
Guess what? I'm sleeping here.
Yeah. I mean...
Can you hear that?
No.
Oh, I can't hear it now. Yeah.
That's Arnold. That's Arnold groaning.
Yeah.
Just giving a little pat. He's annoyed. He's annoyed because I'm patting. He's tired. He's grumpy.
I mean, eventually he's gonna find a spot that he's gonna prefer, right?
Oh yeah.
Right now it sounds like he's just trying out every spot he can.
He's testing everything basically. He's had spots he's kept for a little while and since abandoned and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, our black cat Olive is supposedly she's 7 years old. I find it hard to believe she's 7 because she seems very, very spry for a 7-year-old cat. But she's like darting all over the house all day. She still hasn't quite found her. I mean, she's mostly in my wife's room, like that's kind of her base of operations. But during the day, she's all over the place and she's like exploring and all this shit. And she hasn't quite figured out how to get outside yet because we have like a metallic curtain that theoretically she could get out, but she hasn't figured out how to use it yet. But yeah, she's very curious about everything, and she always wants to be like, okay, well, you're here, so I want to explore here. What's going on? She really likes I have our kind of side room that's kind of I have my bikes in there, but it's kind of a storage room as well. It kind of has a sliding door. And she really likes that room for some reason. I guess there's a lot of sun in there, so she likes it for whatever reason. But
yep. I mean, I have two cats. One, Sammy, the one that was kind of on my lap or whatever.
mm-hmm.
He will sleep between my legs under the covers. So when I get to bed tonight, he'll climb on top of me. Right, I give him a couple pets. He'll climb over to my shoulder and then paw at the blanket. I lift the blanket up. He crawls right in, sleeps between my legs, under the covers. Yeah, apparently that's a safe space for him. I looked this up. He's like, when a cat wants to sleep under the covers and right next to you, he thinks you're the safe person and that's the safe space. Because when you move, it's near your core body. When you move, that's indication of, hey, there's something wrong, or hey, there's something going on. Right? So
yeah, pleasantly surprised when a cat just took him to the vet last week, and super well behaved. Took to the cat cage, didn't get scared in it, didn't get freaked out. Because I can remember when we had him early, we had to take him to his very first vet appointment, and trying to get him in his cage, it took me and my mother's friend basically forcing the poor fuck into the cage to get him in there. Still didn't scratch though. To his credit, he was still very gentle. He was wild, but he didn't scratch at anybody. But this time he was totally chill. He only whined when he was in the truck going to the vet. But otherwise, when he got him to the vet, he's like, I'm just going to lay down in my cage and wait, see what happens. Then we got him into the vet to see him. Put him on the scale. He was all right with that. She was done weighing him. Took him off the scale. He went back on the scale. He's like, hey, I want to check this out some more, kind of thing. So, yeah, pretty well behaved.
Yep. I mean, cats are. You get good ones, and then you get bad ones. You get really shitty cats sometimes. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I find cats in general tend to be assholes, but there's you can get some adorable ones, or a combination of them. Like Claudia is very cuddly until you realize she's only cuddly when she wants food, and she's bugging for food.
Right.
Well, Arnold just went upstairs because he had to go poop, I think. Well, it's funny. So, I've never had a cat that actually slept with me at night. Well, I mean, I think my childhood cat growing up was a female black cat. I think she slept with me, but that's she died close to 20 years ago at this point. But Bella sleeps with me all night, so she's the only she's and she's under the covers. She's I literally have to wear boxers when I sleep because I'm if I get a boner at night, I don't want to poke her with it. So, I need to have that layer of protection. So, but no, she insists on sleeping with me in the bed, but under the covers every single night. So I'm okay, I guess I'm her safe space for her or whatever. But I've never had a cat that sleeps with me. I just had the new cat, Olive, sleeps right on Agnes's pussy, and that's her safe space. And not a bad place to go. It's nice and warm.
Yeah.
Nice and warm. It smells like fish.
Jesus Christ.
Doesn't actually smell like fish, just for the audience, but no, it's that's the joke.
Okay, all right.
The audience.
So I went out with a bike ride with Nick.
Oh God.
Yesterday? Yeah, today's Wednesday, right? Yeah. Yesterday, we went up to see our friend Allison, and Allison was at her parents' house.
All right.
Fine, no problem. So Allison's dad was doing some stuff around the outside of the house, moving stones or whatever, right? He has a little tractor that he uses, and it has a little backhoe at the end of it. And Allison comes up to her father and says, he takes a look, or she looks at this air exchanger that's sitting on the outside of the house. And I'm sitting on my bike. I'm ready to go, and I'm telling Nick, hey, let's go, because Nick's So I'm telling, let's go. And so, but Allison's dad is telling me about, or telling the group of us about this air exchanger and how it got damaged.
Mm.
He says his tractor is, stuck between two places, and he's doing the little this way, little this way, little this way, the 100-point turn.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And his backhoe clipped the side of this air exchanger. And I said, that backhoe, you got to learn how to control your hoe. And I just take off. Like, gone. You got to learn how to control your hoe.
And then the worst part is Nick wasn't as fast, so he got beaten up.
I don't know. I left him behind.
Good.
It's like, Nicholas, how could you bring this man into our yard? He takes off the belt and just beats Nick.
Anyway, I thought it was funny.
And Nick just fucking turtles up and takes it.
Allison, is this the kind of degenerates that you associate with? Like this little fucking freak over here?
She's known us for many years.
Yeah.
Too many years. Like before high school. Like we're talking junior high.
Wow.
Right? In fact, I think I dated her once. That's how long ago.
So long ago you don't remember if you dated her.
No, I dated her. I don't, but it didn't work out. Whatever.
Did you stick your P in her V?
No, this was early on in my dating career.
I'm actually glad, because it would have been kind of odd if it was like, I think I fucked her, but I can't remember. I'm like, I feel you should have remembered this.
Trying to think if I've ever had relations with anyone that's my friend.
Mr. Nicholas Lowe.
Well,
There was that time they rubbed up against each other, but you can't really count that as sex.
No, the pants were still on.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, it might have been sex work, but there was no real intercourse.
There's a little bit of Godzilla.
Yes. So, out of all the people I think I've slept with, I think I'm still friends with one. Everybody else I am not.
I mean, generally that's the case, right?
Yeah, usually.
Usually you can't maintain a friendship after a...
No, because you've gone from the, hey, we're naked and touching each other relationship to, let's just be friends. No.
Very rarely happens.
I mean, there was a break between, there was a time between friendship and not friend, or sorry, there was a time between the act and rekindling the friendship, right?
Oh yeah.
So, what I mean.
Yeah, sometimes that happens too. There's distance, and then you come back together.
I'm married. She's married. Whatever, right? Like to different.
Yeah, you guys can spouse swap. Why not?
Anyway, she's quite a nice lady. Yeah. She lived in the Yukon, came home for a weekend, and instead of she came home for the week. And instead of spending the weekend at her parents' house, she spent the weekend at mine.
Huh. And Scott says he ain't fucking.
Good times. And that's the time I had the hot tub.
Oh, shit.
That Nick refused to drown in, that selfish bastard.
I'm not sure. I think Nick has visited that Scott tub before.
Would Nick go into a hot tub, though? Like, isn't Nick, like, anti-water?
He's anti-swimming.
Does he not know how to swim?
He does not know how to swim.
Well, that would explain it.
I feel like this is one of those things you should learn.
I think he's been in the hot tub.
That would really, honestly, that would really benefit him so much if he actually did learn how to swim. with his diet and exercise regimen that he's been doing with the weight loss, that would be a really good way to maintain and keep cardio up. And
I mean, there's a massive amount of things that would be great for Nick, but the reality is if they're not biking, he won't do them.
yeah,
See, listen, he bikes every day, right? Like, why are you throwing in swimming?
I mean,
Yeah, the concept of it's like fucking the Kamal guy when you throw in the concept of why would you ever have a stout that's not barrel aged? Like that's the same way I feel with Nick as you comment to Nick about Nick, why would you you should do something instead of biking? Huh?
There's other things?
all I'm saying is if I had access to a private swimming pool, I would be swimming every goddamn day.
Yeah, no, swimming pools are great. I mean, granted, my wife's been out of commission, so I haven't really gone in the pool. I went in once, I think, in the last 2 weeks because I don't really enjoy swimming in the pool. That's the thing is I'm not a big swimmer. I actually am a pretty good swimmer, but I don't really enjoy it that much. I like lounging in the pool, hanging with my wife, and she's been unable to do that. So I've just been kind of like, I'm not going swimming. So my pool hasn't been
I used to
heated.
love it, but I stopped doing it somewhere in my teenage years and didn't really pick it up again until the Chris Pam's piss up or whatever. So.
Well, it's one of those things. I mean, like if you don't have access to a pool, it's not like going for a walk where literally anyone can do it. Like, you have to have access to a pool, whether you want to, pay to go to a public or private facility or you own one yourself. But I mean, I think fucking swimming is great. Like, when I'm on vacation in like a Caribbean country, I'm definitely going in the ocean. I'm gonna have a good time. Why not?
So, and swim up bars. Swim up bars are the best.
They are until you realize that all the dudes that have been there for 8 hours are just pissing all around them, and you're just like you're just waddling through that to get your drink, which whatever. They put a lot of chlorine in those pools, but still.
I mean, when I first went to Cuba, my first time I went to Cuba, there was a swim up bar, and I spent a lot of time at that swim up bar. Of course, the drinks were all free, right? So I remember us. We met some Canadians down there, right?
Fucking Canadians.
Yeah, I know. So, and we all kind of just hung out at the swim up bar, and the swim up bar closed at 6 p.m. But at 6:30, we're all still at the pool. We've had, we've ordered they said, last call, whatever, double drinks and that. And the bartender's standing right there, still. And we're like, is the bar open? He's like, so I'm like, let's do a Cuba Libre. Yeah, no problem. He just opens up the bar, does it underneath. Here you go. And I said, yeah, here's your tip. Every time. Here's your tip. Here's your tip. Us Canadians were just pounding the tips to him. He would just stand there and just do it below the thing. Someone comes by. Hey, is the bar closed? Is the bar open? No, the bar's closed. Sorry, the bar's closed. But us Canadians, there's like a dozen of us. We're all just sitting in there, just pounding them back till like 7.
Why do these fucking Canadians keep hanging out by the bar when they don't even serve alcohol? Like, are they bored? Do they have nothing better to do?
Yeah.
Canadians just really milked that last call,
Right? Yeah. So, people would come up. Oh, is this bar open? No, we're closed. We're closed, sorry. And then, like 30 seconds later, I'm like, yeah, no problem. There you go. Underneath the thing. Yeah, there you go. Okay, here's your tip. Thank you. But that guy, that bartender, probably made. If we tipped $1, he probably made $50 to $60 in the hour and a half he was there, on top of whatever he was making.
Right. Yeah, that's good.
Unfortunately, when he converts it, he loses most of that anyway. But
no.
What were you tipping him in?
You tip him in at the time convertible peso. So a convertible peso, $1 Canadian. No, sorry, $1 American was $1 convertible peso. one convertible peso was worth at the time 36 Cuban pesos.
Yeah, but the thing is, the convertible peso, they can't use those until they convert them into Cuban pesos, and the government takes a portion of that. So no matter how much they make, the government controls how much they keep.
Right, but they like if they were doing their regular job outside of the hotel, they'd only make like 100 pesos or 150 150 Cuban pesos a month. So if
But again, even if they make a whack load of tips, the government takes a lot of that from them anyway. That's why Cuban people will generally prefer. Well, as far as I'm aware, I mean, I don't know the exact thing, but as far as I'm aware, that's how the government controls the people to make sure that a bartender's not like fucking getting rich by Cuban standards.
So those bartenders, and I was talking to them. Those bartenders make more than doctors, right?
I believe that
because of these tips and stuff. And the other thing that the Cuban government has done, teachers on a base pay to base pay, teachers make more than doctors.
Well, I heard somewhere that Cubans have a general overall better level of health care than America does at this point.
in general, yeah, they've got a very good healthcare system.
Yeah,
they do, and like everyone's a fucking doctor, right? And their education is free all the way up through university, so their education is paid for. The problem is the whole fucking country's poor, right? Yeah. And they can't get electricity and whatever, right? It's just what the Americans are doing to them are just
that's the thing. American interests are crushing them under their thumb.
Yeah, they're a great people. Like, love the Cubans. The Cubans, they're some of the best people I've met. Right, beat out Americans every fucking time. Right. So, met a couple Germans. Those Germans are quite nice. I did meet some Russians. They were not very talkative. They didn't want to say too much. Russians?
Well, Russians can barely speak. Most of them are morons. Let's face it. Russians, stupid people.
So I'm just looking it up to fact check myself. So apparently Cuban convertible pesos don't exist anymore since 2021. I did not know that. I did not know that was a thing. But apparently the historic cut of the government was they took between 80 to 90% of the tips of convertible pay. Well, not tips, but so when they went to convert the convertible pesos to regular pesos they could spend, the government would take 80 to 90% of it. So, really? I mean, yes, if you're getting a lot of tips, you're still making decent money, but you're giving 90%. Well, let's say 80% of it to the government. So that's not a small chunk.
Right.
No.
Wow. And that is a lot more than I thought. I thought it was like 40 to 50.
Yeah, well, I think the whole idea is that it tries to control them. That's why I always understood when. So people I know that frequent Cuba a lot, they always bring stuff for Cubans. Like for ladies, it's tampons. For children, it's crayons and pencils and shit like that. Usually for men, it's like stuff like clothing and stuff like that. Because that's stuff that they can accept and the government can't take from them, because you can't tax a shoe. You give somebody a pair of shoes, you can't tax that, right? And even if it's not the right size shoes, like, hey, I'm a size 10, you give me a size 9, well, I can go to my buddy at the resort next door and he got a size 10, so we'll swap them. It'll be great. That's kind of the whole thing that I always thought with Cuba is that, like, of course they like money. Everyone likes money, but they'd rather you actually give them something that they don't lose 90% of, or even 80% of whatever the fuck it is.
Yep. 100%. And when we went to Cuba, we'd always pack an extra bag and bring stuff down for Cubans, right, in our extra bag, and then buy local Cuban stuff and bring that stuff back in the stuff like, these pieces of art right here are Cuban art, right? Like from a
Oh wow. Scott was showing us his art, and he disappeared. The Cuban government must have killed him.
Damn.
I wonder where it's probably upstairs because I have my pigs fucking somewhere. That's Cuban art. You guys have all seen my pigs fucking.
Whoops. Almost allowed me to add him back to stage. It says he's basically here. It's just, I think
Maybe he had a crash or something, and it's like there's like a dead body of his that you have to clear before he can come back.
Maybe. Oh, now he's gone.
Yeah, so now he'll be back. It was probably like a corpse or something like.
Mm.
Scott, we need you to clear your corpse so you can come back to us and tell us about your Cuban art.
No. There he is. There he is.
Yeah.
Guess who's back?
My camera unplugged when I was.
Yeah, that's what I figured happened.
And then you can't. I have to actually get out of StreamYard and get back in.
Yeah.
I'm not that. Oh shit! It's 12:30. I'm not that long for the bed myself.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna, at the very least, take this offline. We got three and a half fucking hours.
Right. We spanned a lot of conversation though. I must say, touched on a lot of different stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah, this is an example of really like making the best we could have out of something.
Yeah, but this town's getting too scary for me.
This town's getting too rough for me.
There you go.
This is nice Cuban art.
Yep.
It's no penis though, so it's okay. No penis. Scott brought the.
Fuck it, dude. Let's go bold.